Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another show with us, myself, K Sis, got Dan Mason, and we got
Yeah.
two homies with us today. Please introduce yourselves just as the camera knocks out. Introduce yourselves. Let's start with the Tottenham fan.
That's a perfect place to start. What's going on, people? I go
Oh,
by the name
bloody
of
hell,
Mr.
man.
Bounce.
Next up.
Yo, yeah,
Yeah.
man, I go by the name of Mr. Bounce. I'm a man of many trades. You know what I mean? I'm a DJ, host, presenter, and yeah, man, I'm here just with the family, man. This is the home team. This is family, man. So yeah, man, it's all good. I'm glad I'm on it. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah,
Wicked
what's
stuff.
going on? What's going on, people? My name is Nobere. I am a radio presenter, host as well. So yeah, man, it's a pleasure to be here. Obviously, I've done one vid for the levels. You know, what I mean, sneak a little review there. So yeah, man, it's good to finally be on this show. And yeah, let's get it. Let's get it.
100%. Definitely, we got to do a couple more sneaker levels. We've got to talk in the background about that. In fact, let's start right there. Actually, let's start. I want to start with music, but let's start right on the sneaker thing. Because a couple weeks ago, who did we have on? Dan, we had
Trainer heads.
sneakerheads. Yeah, trainer heads. Sorry, because they're keeping it proper London with that. Trainer heads. Yeah. So we were just
Hmm.
talking about the general culture, the UK trainer culture. My thoughts are I think we have the best kick game in the whole world. Generally speaking, I'm not
Hmm.
gonna lie. I think our kick game's strong. What's your opinions on it?
When you say the kick game, what are you just referring
As
to
in
the releases or how it looks, how we dress?
how we dress it, how we dress
Um,
with the kicks.
yeah, I think no, like UK is good. It is good, but I think we're on par with Paris. I think
Okay, fine. Tell me.
Parisians have got some wavy.
Different style. Yeah, yeah.
Like yeah, they just know how to put stuff together. But yeah, yeah, we're definitely up there, definitely up there. In with the States is a continent, isn't it? So it's huge. So
What's too
you got
flipping loud? So I'm blurring it.
it. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's huge though, isn't it, the States. So you got West Coast that do things a little bit different than obviously people on the East Coast in New York. But yeah, man, UK is definitely up there.
Do you know what? I think that the UK for me is you're right about it. That is neck and neck with the Parisians, but I have to tell my hats off to my Asian community. I'm telling you right now, them Japanese guys, yo, the way they
Tell I
put
forget.
crep together, the way they put crep together is a different sort of flex in it. Do you know what I mean? I've seen some outrageous things, and I've seen the way that they like to put things together, and they're like collectors. They are actually
Yeah,
genuine
the
collectors,
connoisseurs.
connoisseurs. They know about it, and that's just the way the Japanese usually are with records, music, and all that sort of stuff. They usually are like that. You know what I mean? But then when like that question sort of reminded me when I went to LA one time, right? And I was in LA and I was wearing the Jordan 6s Sport Blues rare thing, and what's that? And I must have
It's
been
stopping you
walking
everywhere.
down. Yeah, you
What
already know
one?
what it is.
Sorry, the Jordan 6 what?
Yeah, Jordan 6 Sport Blues. You ain't got those.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no,
I was
no,
thinking,
you
I've
ain't got
heard,
those.
yeah. So
Yeah. Well,
what did they
what's
just?
anyway?
Did
I'll continue
they
on.
just
I'll
go
continue
past
on.
you? Did
No,
they just go past you? Someone actually
I,
stopped you for them.
Hey, wait, pause. Hey, pause.
I love the way this up the egg.
No, wait,
well,
let me finish the story. Let me finish the story.
so you know what I mean. So anyway, so I was walking downtown LA, and I was there with a female friend, and one guy came up to me with goes, "Yo, fam, I love your kicks, I love your trainers. Can you go and buy me and my girl a dinner because we know that you've got the peas in it." I was like, "Sorry, fam, yeah." I was like, "That's no shame," but that's the
Wild.
thing. Wild,
Where was
very, very wild.
was this Skid Row in LA or where did you? Because
No, this was
who's
down.
stopping you with who's stopping you with them Jordans? If it ain't the infrared. You know what I mean? Classic infrared if it ain't the varsity reds. I don't know who's stopping you, but it must be Skid Row. But cool, you should have got the Tramper Mill, man.
Listen, he held that in, because he wanted to lace him early doors. Like it was just I was like, let him finish.
He had to come back, He had to come back. But no, to be fair, it was actually downtown LA. No, it was downtown LA. But like honestly, the training thing in the US is totally different, man. It's a different scene. But for me, I think the way that people dress it up is the Asians for me, like the Japanese, they're just taking it to the next level for me anyway.
That's I can't even deny, to be honest. That's very true. You brought to. I always look. I was obviously wearing this bubble, and then I see bare Europeans and people like that come here, and then you said the Japanese folk and Parisians. Yeah, the Parisian style. I think overall in fashion, the Parisians. Don't get me wrong, I like the Japanese style, but sometimes a bit too out there. But on a general basis, the cat's out of even Marseille or Montpellier. Bruv, oh my days! Some of the kicks and the way the swag is different.
You know what I like about the Parisian now, and that like we always look at France like it's just so far away, but they're very simple. Apart from the fact that black brothers over there are speaking French, it's the same inner city blacks, and you know what it is as well. When we were growing up, we always used to look at like the Congolese. Remember, they were so wild with the wild D&G, and I'm thinking, wow, like relax on that. But now you see in France, like it's like a hot pepper soup in it. Do you know what I mean? You've got everything there. You've got the sneakers. They might go a little bit, designer with what they're wearing with the clothes. The hairstyle might be there. It's like a melting pot of Africa, UK, America. I just love it because in Peru, all they do is listen to trap and hip hop. That's the weird thing when you see. So that's what I'm saying, that they're really influenced by hip hop, but yet there's a lot of West Africans there, so they hold on to that. So I think it's an amazing mix, and definitely.
No, 100%. Dan, what are you saying about the sneaker culture? Though, kind of had your views a little while ago, but give it to us again.
I think I like the States. I think even though they're bigger, and I think the Asian guys in terms of colors, I think they use the colors. So like, I can't see myself really ever doing a green trainer. Like,
you never know.
But I feel like in Asia they'll just they'll figure it out.
Bro, you'd rock the Kobe Grinches on court.
Yeah, not even on court, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm a black or white. I might dip it like a little red in there somewhere, like slightly, like an off-cut of red. But if I'm
one of them,
just like
you're one of them Kawhi Leonard ballers, just playing.
Yeah. Get the ball in the basket, and it is what it is.
I hear that. No, I hear that, bro, for real. Anyways, just taking it quickly off that. All of us are somewhere affiliated with music. I met Bounce, Apple Bum stuff. Then obviously, I'm surprised I honestly didn't know you from a longer time because the amount of people that were connected to is just crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
And same with Dan, to be honest, that we never met sooner. But we're all connected to music, and music is the one thing that obviously we all love. Now, me and Dan weekly are slamming the state of music.
Oh wow!
Like slamming the state of music. No. And in fact, for that reaction, what do you disagree? Basically, what I'm saying is the state of music is just absolutely trash. Hence why I started Levels.
Yeah. I agree to a certain extent, but then I'm also getting my older hat on things and head on things because I agree with you to a certain extent. Certain things that I'm listening to now, and I'm thinking, especially the rap game. It doesn't look like you have.
Bro, name and shame, man.
No, I'm just saying it just doesn't mean that you have to be that talented lyrically to blow. However, what I would say is that just when we were growing up, for example, you had the older guys that, were really there when it come to Run DMC, or were really there, when it come to gangster, like they were really, really there. And we might have been on the latest West Coast fad. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're growing up, that's what got me into hip hop, really. It was the whole NWA. But when I actually think about it, NWA, fantastic. Lyrically, they couldn't really touch New York. But because I was 11, 12-year-old, I was going for all of those gimmicks. So I'm with you guys because we're at that age where, we live through the golden era of hip hop. But also, I think, the younger ear, you've got to let the young cats kind of find their way as well. Because I know they might have been listening to us thinking, I'm not really feeling this, I'm just trying to think Snoop Dogg at that time for like a New York, hardcore New York, hip hop head. They'll probably be thinking, okay, what's my name? That's not the best tune this year. Because you got to remember, Illmatic came out 94, right?
No, for
Yeah,
93.
94. Yeah. It came out
94.
94.
And
Yeah.
Doggy Style came out 93. Now, very different albums, isn't it? Like completely different albums. But at that age, we were probably, pushing Snoop more. Now, if you ask me at that age, what was a better album? Was it Illmatic or Doggy Style? At that age, 11, 12, I would have said, oh, Doggy Style all day. Or come on, bro. Like we grow, we mature. You understand? Like it's Doggy Style classic album, but so the young cats, I get what you're saying, but yeah, they just kind of find their ear and stuff. So I just tend to listen. If it's not really me, and just let me move on with it.
Now, also, let me jump in on here, right? So I've got like two sort of varying opinions about this. I think what we're seeing, what's being given to us in like the mainstream is like microwave music in it. Do you know what I mean? It's a happy meal in it. You know what you're getting, but you're not gonna get no nutrition out of it. Do you know what I mean? But in the beauty, but I think the beauty of what's going on in the music scene today is that there's so much choice. Like back in the day, like 94, 93, you only really had like two or three rap albums the whole year. Like 2000, you only had like six or seven big rap albums. Do you know what I mean? If it wasn't Nelly, Eminem, Jay-Z, it's very hard to find anything else. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now, I'll probably say probably around about the 2011, 2012 era when, the SoundCloud, the mixtapes, the Dat Piff, everything started to really open up where there was a wide range of music. And I'll be honest, I actually quite like it because sometimes sometimes I do want to listen to Anderson .Paak, but sometimes I want to get ratchet. Sometimes I want to listen to a bit of Rhapsody, but at the same time I want to listen to a bit of, I don't know, Key Glock. It all, like, you know what I'm saying, like there was also there's different sounds. I think for me, also what I'm liking is the fact that there's a lot more artists that are willing to collaborate. Do you know what I mean? You're getting a lot of collaborations that you would have never expected, whether it be Flatbush Zombies and Skepta or Playboy Carti and Lil Uzi. There's so much collaboration going on. Like back in the day, you would have never imagined, I don't know, Kendrick being on Drake album or Drake album, J. Cole, and all these sort of swapping ideas. It never would have happened. Whereas now,
You don't
people are
think so?
more. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, what's it? Absolutely. Like,
You had
because
Bone Thugs,
I remember.
and Biggie.
Yeah,
But
but
they're
that was
both
rare.
East
That was a
Coasters, though.
very rare collaboration.
That
But Bone Thugs was more Oakland. It was from the
no,
West,
Bone
wasn't it?
no,
No,
Bone
So
Thugs are Oakland.
no,
Yeah,
Bone
Bone
Thugs was
Thugs.
yeah,
from
Bone.
Chicago. They're
No, no, no,
Chicago.
no, 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 no.
Yeah, they're
They're
from
I'm pretty
Chicago.
sure they're
Easy
from.
E signed them to Death Row. That's why they travel from
Yeah,
Chicago to Death Row. They're
No, he went
they're
on
East
death row.
Coasters.
Yeah, they weren't on death row. They were on Ruthless. But no, I
I mean,
thought they were
Ruthless.
from
Pardon me.
Oakland. Yeah, from Oakland. But I like
I'm
that.
just gonna
well,
Google
But
this.
yeah,
Just make
sorry
sure I'm
though.
right.
yeah. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. But anyway, look. I think there's just a lot more artists are willing to collaborate, and even you've seen a lot more rap artists looking to do different styles. Like, who would have thought? Rappers would have been going into house like that whole Snoop Dogg, David Betting, let's just rub it
Pardon me.
out. But you know what I mean? But when we're looking towards like, the Drake and the Boosie, and then you're looking towards like one guy from West Coast called Nez. And do you know what I mean? There's just so many people that are like mixing different styles, and it's great to see. Like, in a sense, you're getting a lot of like microwave music, but then you're also getting some good, interesting, different collaborations, which I'm all here for.
Just to correct it, it was actually Cleveland. Pardon me, not Chicago. I know it
Yeah.
began with a
Okay.
C.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cleveland, Ohio, yeah.
But Dan, go on, shed your light.
No, I'm just listening. To see hear what everybody's saying. I think you're definitely getting pushed in the mainstream a lot of quick tunes, like they're decent one week and then the other week it's like a bit meh. They don't last very long. But I think to find the proper music, you're gonna have to absolutely dig most of the time. It's kind of nothing's really changed, but just I think sometimes we've kind of got so accustomed to a certain level. We need to understand that it's not the same level as before because there's so many people pumping stuff out now. A lot of stuff gets missed. Like back then, like you said, you were looking forward to the albums when they dropped because there weren't a lot of albums dropping, so you had time to really ingest the music. So I'm like, there's so much out there sometimes. I sometimes even like pass songs, and then I have to listen to it a couple more times, and I sit there on a different day in a different mood, and I'm like, this song's actually decent if you really listen to how it's put together. So I think it's a bit of both, really. It's like we've got way too much to choose from, and I think it just messes with like, you know, your idea of what's good and what's kind of bad.
It's funny that you say that because it's like rap is or especially like the rap music is coming like dancehall. Remember when the dancehall they used to have like 60, 70 tracks come out in a day? You know what I mean? And now it's just but
Everybody
now
hopping on one
you're
rhythm.
getting like wrong rhythm and then that one rhythm to get like it's still so that's why
That
I
still
felt
happens,
like
by the way. They put that
it
back.
still it still happens and that's why for me look I can only enjoy dancehall music from afar because every time I look at it and I try and get a couple of tunes, I'm like, God's sake, how much have I actually missed? And it's only been like a couple of months, so yeah, it's a bit mad.
Yeah, it's true. All you hear is doom, 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 doom. Goat water. I want my goat. What? I'm
You're a
joking.
fool. This guy's thinking. This guy. What? No.
No, to be honest, I've actually listened to a whole heap of Collie Buds today. That guy's actually going still strong, man. I was surprised.
Yeah,
And what's his name? Skip Marley. And then I just delved into a little bit more, and then I started getting into the craniums, Dappy Ranks, and just threw it all back. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you said that about dancehall. Actually, I can tolerate it for a lot longer. I just think, like when we used to go to the dances, and you would hear the same rhythm. You'd hear Sean Paul. You'd hear what Beanie Man. You hear Movado. You hear Vibes Cartel, and it's going for half an hour, and it's the same rhythm. That's what I couldn't tolerate. That's it. They just wrote there's just monotony of the dance hall sometimes, but I think it's had its break now. I think it's going to come back strong next year. I think everybody keep your ear to the ground, especially people like Coffee flying the flag and shining a bit more light for the Jamaican people them or the Caribbean people them.
I think
I
it's
think
actually deeper than that, though. Like, I think there's a subculture. It's like we look at music from like we love all kinds of different music, right? But like these little subcultures, like you'd be surprised, like South Korea, they love dancehall. Like they've got their own little dancehall culture over there. They look at music totally different, and there's this little subculture of dancehall, even like garage. If you think about garage, how long it's been hanging about, yeah, there's still a strong community of people that listen to garage music. Just that we're so far from the genre itself, like we don't really see what's going on in that culture because we're not focused on that one genre. We kind of just look at music as a whole, right? We're listening to music as a whole. Like I'm listening to all sorts of music, like rap, trap, South American stuff, French stuff. I came across an artist called Carla Prata today. She is dope. Like she is unreal.
where's she from?
She's Angolian, French,
Angolan.
Angolan, French. She's got some Portuguese. She's grew up in all of these different countries, so her flow and her style's a little bit more. It's actually quite mad. It's nuts. It's actually nuts. I listened to a couple of her bits and I thought, yeah, she's all right. And the way they're kind of promoting her as well, like all the visuals and stuff that they're using, she's got like a certain look and she appeals to a certain type of Londoner, which is kind of, again, that's how we see music, because we see music from a London perspective. We grew up in inner city London, so our view of what music is kind of a little bit different to some of the other people, you know.
It's interesting what you're. Sorry, bro.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's interesting what you're saying about like listening as a Londoner, or looking at the rest of the world, how they look at music. I was blessed to be at that age where I lived through the garage and the funky house era, and Bounce will know, like, when me and him work together, me and you talk about hip hop all day. Like, really, that's our common ground. But obviously, I got him onto it later. But Bounce knows he'll hardly see me. I may have go to one or two living proofs, but you know where you'll find me, Bounce. If I'm going out, I'm going to house raves, or I'm going to house festivals, or I'm going to funky house, or that is for me. I listen to hip hop, R&B all day long. I listen to different music, but for me, when I want to get that energy and that vibe, for me, it's always going to be dark. Like, I would always go to a house festival. I always go to, especially funky for me. I don't know if it can be beaten. It sounds mad, but I don't generally. I think there's only one time I felt hip hop in my soul, and that was in Vegas. That's the only time I thought, I don't think it gets much better than this in terms of being out with other people. But yeah, funky, Super D drops it. I don't think there's. I don't know.
It's hard work. It's hard.
That's what I need. So
I don't even like funky. I listen to Super D play funky. I think, fuck me, I like funky,
Yeah,
I actually like funky, what it is? It's like, as kind of DJs and stuff, like when someone delivers something, you give someone 5 tunes and say, play these 5 tunes. And then another donor play them 5 tunes, and he interprets it, and he's trying to tell his story through those songs in a totally different way. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, like, you hear it differently. If you guys, it's nuts. Because when he's playing, someone that's really, truly into the music, like he is, it's like EZ playing garage. You know what I mean? You might not listen to garage.
Get out of here, man.
But EZ plays garage, you're like, bruv, I'm a garage fan. Like, you start digging up old school, flipping twice as nice bits and all this. You're trying to listen to all this stuff. And I'm like, actually, it's just because he kind of did something different, right, with the way he expressed, the music. So, and I get what you mean with funky. The right person playing the funky, for me, it definitely hits different, I think. I wouldn't go out specifically to say I'm going to listen to a funky shop dance, but when certain men are playing, like, I'm like, bruh, I'm in. I'm in. I'm all in.
Do you know what, Nobs, I'm glad you mentioned funky in it, because, like, that was... So, obviously, I'm known for cool stuff, but really and truly, where I cut my teeth learning how to DJ was actually through funky. I'm not even going to lie. Garage and funky was my main things. Grime, garage, and funky was it. Right. So I used to go and collect vinyls so I used to go up to BM Soho and meet people and meet the producers and all this sort of stuff and buy actual vinyl. This was the time when actual telephone numbers of the producers were actually on the vinyl. So I'm pretty sure I've got like a Fuzzy Logic or Rudimental. Yeah, I've got a Rudimental vinyl
back in the day, yes.
I've got their telephone number right on the thing. Because that's how it was so small, and it was like. But then one thing I will say is else, like, so circle raves. I'm sure you've heard of those knobs. I'm sure you've been to a few of those circle raves.
The originals, man. You got
they're exactly with the originals when they used to do that as well. And then right about the time I was at uni, so my sister went University of Hertfordshire, where a lot of stars and people that were
backwards,
exactly,
man,
exactly. So a lot of the raves were going on there, and my sister always used to tell me about this rave called Till 2. That Till 2, go to Till 2, go to Till 2, go to Till 2, and it became such a circle. Regular people from the ends, you'll see them there, but everyone will be like dancing and vibing to house music. And I swear to you, like, the last Till I went to was a few years ago. It was in Proud Embankment, and it felt like a community. No, there was no sort of, there was no ill feelings. Everybody was just there for. And I'll be honest, they like house raves because it just feels like a community. Nobody's on bad vibes, bad manners. It's just always a good vibe, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Do you think we'll ever see something like Funky House again happen in the UK?
What is happening? It's happening to the originals.
It's still going on.
No. As in a new wave of music.
I don't.
Funky house was spawned out of, obviously it was a fusion of, I still think the UK, that's why I called UK funky. I think we took tribal house, we took the initial funky house, which was the kind of what's it called, what the, drop the beat, who dropped that, who did that song, drop the beat,
Oh, Dr.
that dropped the beat, yeah, that one, who dropped that one, Milo.
Oh, yeah,
Milo.
that was
Milo
yeah.
Sound Machine.
Yeah, so they kind of fused that with a tribal house and gave it a little bit of a next kick to it. That's what made UK funky house. That's what I'm saying. Do you think we'll ever see a genre come out of the UK or sound come out of the UK like that?
Do you know what? That is such a great question, and I'm gonna be selfish now. I'm about to know. That's the reason why. And you mentioned something, Dan, about subcultures, but Kofi, honestly, great question. I don't want it to, and you know why I don't want it to? Because I feel when you go to originals or you go to 51st State and you go into the back to 9510, I've told, obviously Mr. Bounce is coming this year because I'm like, listen, bro, loud
51st
wireless.
State is vibes, bro. Wireless.
Is it good?
Nah,
Is it good?
Loud, no,
vibes,
no.
vibes.
Kofi, listen, I'm
It's
telling you
vibes.
this now, and I told Mr. Bounce, and I'm putting my neck on the line here. The back to 9510 at 51st State, on that day, you're not going to be anywhere better in the world. When EZ is, listen, like you want to be taken back. Hey, listen, and you know why I love it? It's the best place to be in the world because it's very UK, it's ours, and it takes you back, and you're vibing with other people who really get it. You know, when you listen to the tracks, bro, you ain't got time for posing. You're skanking.
see,
You're gonna do skanks that you're thinking, where? Like, I don't even know. That,
Bro, my niece can still do this.
Bro, you don't care. As long as you got the people around, you know what I mean? Good vibes. And bro, it's just the best place. And I like it to be nostalgic. That's one thing as you get older. I think we all love the word nostalgia. Innit? Like we like it. So for me, please let them carry on with their new rap and do your stuff.
Don't touch funky.
It's been a minute, like, because flipping 51st State. Oh man, it's hard to describe it though. It is hard to describe it. It's a good rave. Like, it's one of the first places where, like, proper house, like some of them old school duns would come through and play, like Kerry Chandler and stuff like that. I've seen in raves like that. This Southport weekend I used to go to quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And you would catch a couple of those guys playing there, and it's just different when you hear these guys playing music. It's totally different to what you know. And then when you get like there's other tents that you could pop into, and then you hear some like old school garage, but like proper garage. And then someone like Heartless just comes and picks up the mic. It's like, listen, it's out in here. Or when they drop
when Mighty Mo's on.
They drop some of the old beats, and I'm just like,
it's, you know what it is as well though.
Their music.
Dan, it's the mixing though. You know what's so mad is like at 51st or you know, and originals, you know. So big up DJ Super D, Kismet, you know. But the thing is when they do the mix or the drop, like there's about a 30-second silence because people are going mad now. They're like, nah. And that, I don't, you know, when you go to the raves, that's what I like because it's part of that community. You know what track is coming. You know what track is coming. And it's just that energy. I don't think it can be beaten, man, for a long time. So
I'm going to jump in there really quickly. As DJs, when you guys are playing to the newer crowd and you're mixing in a song and you're layering it, do you always catch the crowd sometimes thinking what the hell is going to come next or just stop dancing? Do you guys see that? And you're in your head, this song is actually really bait. As the DJ, like, it's really bait. You can hear it clearly. Do you ever get Oni's nodding, but Dan, I guess you don't get it.
No, you know what? Sometimes I think people are just like, some people would like some crowds, depending on the age group, there's a certain way you have to mix. Like, and when you get like a younger crowd, you're gonna have to mix differently as well because it's like
every 30 seconds.
Every 30 seconds.
Bro, 30 seconds.
None of that.
30 to 1
2
minute.
minutes. Good luck with that, bruv.
Yeah,
really.
Like quarter of the dance, Saudi.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. Where's the next spot?
It's too long.
Like they
It's
are
too
out.
long.
Like
The
they don't
attention
want to
span is
hear no
mad.
song for 2 minutes. Like if you listen to a lot of the songs now, and I don't know if you realize with BPM Supreme, sis, the songs they do what they call like quick edits. They call them quick edits.
Yeah, the quick intro.
Quick edits. This song
Giving
is
him the cheat code.
nothing but 30 seconds of the hook and the song. It's done.
And the first thing done.
Wow.
It's done. It's called a quick edit. You got 30
Yes.
seconds. You mix it in, it drops. You got 30 seconds. Get the
So
next
mix it
beat
out.
ready. We're gone. And all of them, you get the choice though. They at least give you the choice.
Yeah.
So they give you the choice of like the
I'm
song,
always going intro, bruv.
and then you got
Always.
like
That
5
intro.
options. You get the dirty, the clean, the quick edit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, or if you're lucky, you might get a cappella. But
I just wanted to ask you, DJ, because I'm the non-DJ here, but do you guys kind of feel now that you've said that it's Bounce? I'm actually remembering because I've come to one or two of, you know, to be fair, I'm gonna say this once on camera. Bounce is a good DJ, you know. I never tell him, but
Yep, you know. I clip this, Bounce,
Hey,
clip
mate.
this.
Is this being
Wait,
recorded? Is this being recorded?
Bruv, it's
Like,
live.
I need to
It's
listen
live,
to it, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
all right. Well, I'll just tell the
Cool,
rest of the
cool,
boys
cool.
for the thing.
Listen, you know
It
what I
was
mean?
hard for him to say it, you know. Oh my god, that was
It's all right.
painful.
It pays me to say he's a very good DJ. But the thing is, when I used to listen to him on radio and his mixes, and then when I used to go to certain, you know, raves or events, it weren't the same Bounce. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't. And it's only now that you guys are, and I did used to look at the crowd, and then you might drop 1 or 2 tracks, and I'm like, yo, I'm going mad, innit? But I'm looking at the crowd, they're thinking,
They're
don't
like,
even know.
what's this?
Exactly. So I'm asking you guys, like, do you kind of feel pressure by the promoters as well? Because I know you're saying how, you know, what the crowd are doing, but do you, I don't want to get your checks
I've
blocked.
got stories, boy.
Yeah. Do you kind of feel pressure, like, to a certain extent, like, listen, I don't want you playing this, like, I need you to keep, you know.
Listen, who do you want to start with? Because I'm sure
Bounce
we
ain't
all
gonna
had
talk now because he got to pay his rent at the end of the month, so he ain't. Don't worry. Bounce, I'm not gonna put you on
No,
now.
that's
I'm not gonna put you on
good one
that.
still,
Don't worry
that
about
was
it.
No, that's a good one. But I'm gonna talk though. Like, I'll start this off. So, there's been a couple of promoters that have been on my neck asking me to play this and play that. And I remember there was one time I must have been playing at a residency, and the nerve of the security guard must have come to me. He goes, "Look, the crowd are asking for this," and I must have just looked at him and I said, "Look, I don't tell you how to check people's IDs. Don't go ahead and tell me how to do my job in it. You just have to keep you have to put your foot down. You know what I mean? Because they're either gonna appreciate it or they're not. It's already a tense environment when you're DJing and you're trying to control the crowd and you're thinking the next tune you think it was gonna go here, there, everywhere, not to mention every other distraction. So when someone is trying to dictate what you're gonna play, like I'll be honest, I'm very against it. Like even when I try and put on parties or whatever, for me, I'm like, no, do you know what? I let the DJ do whatever he wants to do with it. You know what I mean? Unless there's
Okay.
particular genres that we're gonna be keeping to, then fine. But other than that, I let a DJ run because, to be honest with you, that's the whole fun of it. Like it's different. Everybody has their own spin on things. Like I guarantee you, me spinning is not going to be the same as DJ Dan Mason or Kofi in it. You know what I mean? It's going to be 2 different things or cases. Like everyone is different. So, but one thing you know is that if you've got a good ear is always going to cut through for me in it. Like so, there's a DJ that I've been looking at his sets. Is one DJ called DJ Coco from Japan. All he plays is with 45. I swear to
Yeah,
you,
he
this guy
does
is an
bits.
absolute beast,
He's
absolute
a
beast, and
On
all
a
he
4-channel mixer as well. He does numbers, mate. He
on
does numbers.
literally on 45s. People don't really understand how difficult it is to
Difficult it
DJ
is.
with 145, let alone to be juggling and doing the whole technical bits. But even more, like what's more impressive is that he's got such a good ear. Like sometimes you could be listening to that he's got on 45. He's got a remix of this 80s tune that he's got. He might be playing a bit of South American salsa, Brazilian, all that sort of stuff. Like I mean, so for me, I appreciate more sounds. You know what I mean? And good tunes. But then again, every DJ different. You know what I mean? I just think if you got good ear, it's always gonna cover up the rest way, in my opinion. Anyway, so
100%.
I feel like yeesh. Yeah, sometimes it depends on where you play though. If you're playing like promoter like led events, so if you're getting booked for different spaces and all that, yeah, you got to get in, do the damn thing, and and be get booked again. Like you got bills to pay. You know the reality.
This is what I was about to say. Like I know, because I know it's
so,
probably an emotional. I know, obviously, everybody. Listen, you're DJs in it. I get it, and you know, the reason you're doing that is you know, your love for the genre, your love for mixing, your love for the ear. But let's be real though, it's business, isn't it? So that's like at the end of the day, and you know, you might even have your own events that you do have control. But I always think, yeah, if I'm a promoter, and the last thing I want to hear is, yeah, now the venue was amazing, but yeah, I just wasn't really feeling the music. Sometimes that's just not what you want to hear, innit? So we have to come to. I can't just say, look, bounce, just go out and express yourself like you're Zidane. I'm thinking, listen, you know, you're booked here, you know, on the Friday, but I've got Saturday and Sunday, and I know what my people want to hear. So
yeah,
it's a tough one for you guys.
you start picking after a while. That's what happens.
That's a good point. You must do.
Picking after a while. Yeah, of course. Like certain promoters like shout you, are you available? Nah, I'm not even available, bro. I'm good. The reason why, like I'll do that is because I know that if I
Bounce,
go
you
there,
ain't turning down no one. This guy, you know. He's he's good work. This guy, you know.
Listen,
doing it. Doing it.
You got to do what you got to do. Like if it's a residency, most DJs know in a residency, those people have been trained to your ear. Like that's it. You've trained them to even be looking at a residency long enough. You and the establishment get along, right? They believe in your vision, right? So if you're in a residency for a year or so, you are probably going to do whatever you need to do. The odd time you're going to have to step out a little bit because you might have different people in the venue. But if you're being booked for events and you're doing different events, 9 times out of 10, people are doing that for a specific sound that they want you to play. Sometimes people just ask you to play because they know you can play that genre. Those are the ones that kind of just say, you know what, I'm not going to do it because they're going to expect a certain side of me that I might not be up to doing that day. I might not want to play like sort of like a heavy trap or like go too ham on like, you know, I might want to just come and do a standard R&B set and just keep the crowd kind of chilled. But sometimes if you're in a position, you just have to know what the position is and play it. Whether you're unhappy or not, brother, you got like 50, 100, 200, 300 people in front of you that want to know what time it is, bro. So you got to do what you need to do.
You got to deliver.
You got to deliver. Like as a DJ, sometimes you just don't really get the choice. But if you can avoid it, I try to anyways. I try to just be. That's why I prefer to play on radio. Like my radio show, like someone's like, "Are you happier on radio? Or are you happier like back in the dances?" I'm like, you know what? Not being in the dances has been an eye opener. Like it's been an eye opener because all I had was going to radio. So I'm like, okay, boom. And I go to radio. I play whatever I want to play. Like everybody's getting it. You know what I mean? I'm dishing out
2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah,
2 hours, isn't it?
Dishing out food for the people then. And it's like, you know what? I actually enjoyed that 2 hours more than sometimes some of the sets that sounds fucked up if anyone's listening. I do apologize, but I've got to be honest. Some of the sets I did previously. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like it is what it is. Because as a DJ as well, like I feel like you're expressing yourself. Like you're telling your story or whatever through these other artists and through the music, and you're expressing yourself how you know, some people got different style of mixing, etc. So when you're free to do what the hell you want, it's different than when you're kind of.
Can I ask one more quick? Because now I'm a DJ fan. Like I know you fear DJs. Let me ask you one question. I've always wanted to kind of ask DJs. Just be real. I want to hear, even when you were young, cutting your teeth. You know, have you ever been out playing, and a more experienced or a DJ that you really respect is now just hanging around the decks, and you're thinking, oh, do you know what? this guy is the one. Like,
He's
to
the
be
one.
fair, and
Yeah.
boy, is he gonna be judging? My mixes. He might not be, but you're young in it, so you're trying to impress. Like, come on,
DJ's always
guys.
judging, man. Doesn't matter who they
So
are.
Always.
talk to me. So
Always,
talk to me.
bruv.
Talk to me.
As,
Bruv,
Talk to
you,
it's
me.
terrible being a DJ because
you
you
ain't no
cannot be in a
DJ.
dance, yeah? If a DJ clangs, it's it for you. It's it for you. Like you hear it instantly. You hear
Man,
it
listen,
instantly.
you always see the DJs in the crowd. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
do some
Oh.
shit, that they don't approve of.
They're all like this and like
You're gonna
this.
know. You're gonna know. You will know. You
They're
you
all
Are
will
like,
they
know.
like that? Are they like that?
Yeah, you will know. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've been that guy that scoops the man. Yo, let's bounce, man. Like I did that one time, and I went home and kind of self-reflected. I said, "Big man, what are you doing? Like you
Do
can't
you
be
know what? I'm
behaving
glad
like
you
that.
said that.
You can't be doing
can't
that.
help
I'm
it.
What
glad
kind
you
of
said that.
behavior is that nonsense, bro?" So like now, what I try and do is like, because obviously my friends, my family, you know what I mean? Like everybody knows I'm a DJ. So if we're out, I just put it to one side. I don't even listen. Like, do you know what I mean? I try and
Yeah.
enjoy my people, them. And sometimes you go out, you can't help it. There's DJs that just do numbers, right? They're good DJs. And it's just a great night. But unfortunately, as a DJ, sometimes you might hear certain things and you just kind of have to. I feel like the way you just have to. It is what it is. You're not the DJ.
Yep.
Like you're not the guy in that position. So you have to separate yourself from, being
That
so
situation.
judgy and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been two times where I had to self-reflect. Actually, there's been one time I remember. I was booked to play like later on in the night, but I got there early. And there was an opening DJ there, and a couple of the other DJs were there, so we know each other. We're talking, we ain't seen each other in a while. And this opening DJ, he's doing his thing, he's playing his music in it, yeah. And the word comments, I just didn't like it. I'll be honest, I just didn't like it. I was like, yo, you got to let my man live in it, like let him live in it. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, like there were a couple clangers, but at the same time, in it, yeah, I just thought, look, let him cut his teeth. He's opening up, let him do his thing. And I think the reason why I reflected on that was because myself, I remember when DJ Craze and DJ. So if you don't know who DJ Craze is, he used to open up for Kanye West on the Glow in the Dark tour after A-Track
Okay.
left. So yeah, so like he was there in it. So I was just like DJ with him, and he was just there watching me, like chilling out and all that
Oh,
sort of stuff. And I was just thinking,
man.
oh my god, it's DJ Craze. I've seen your videos and all that sort of stuff. And to be fair, he was just like mad cool. And ever since that day, like I was just like, yo, do you know what? It's actually when you meet somebody who's of that stature and of that legend, in it, you just think, do you know what? The way that they carry themselves in terms of how they are with other DJs and DJ etiquette and all that sort of stuff. Like it's just nice to see it as that he sort of held that DJ community. He was being like, yeah, man, you're killing it.
So
Carry
that's
on doing your
interesting. So
thing.
you've got a Kanye West DJ who giving you self-confidence to go on. That's interesting. Actually, this we'll take that off this figure there. So interesting. I
He
wonder what
wasn't.
Oyo would
To be
think
fair,
about
he
this.
wasn't the only
Okay,
DJ
cool.
that. To be fair, it wasn't the only DJ Yoda in it. Do you know what I mean? That was also there as well. But I mean, it's just nice to see
Okay.
that there was a DJ community there. And for me, I like to encourage the youngers because there's some good DJs out there. I guess it's just obviously we just need to do what we can to build a community and build just build a trust between us DJs because like it can be it can be to try and break into, let alone to make peace from. So yeah.
100%.
It's bitchy. That's what I would say. It's bitchy
100%.
at times, and it's kind of like it's an ego environment. So, and that's what
100%.
causes people like me to be like, oh, that time. And then I just, like I said, you go home and you're just like, bro, that's just bad behavior, man. Don't do that.
So who's
That's not
technically
behavior.
who's technically the worst out of you three then?
Me, because I'm the
Wow.
youngest.
No, I won't go
As in,
far.
I'm the youngest in terms of how long I've been DJing for. But I know,
Okay.
and I was to answer your question.
Yeah.
First of all, Oni said the one guy that I was just like, I was properly like, oh shit. I was on before Yoda. So DJ Yoda's coming on. I was like, huh? I'm meant to be before Yoda, and obviously the vinyls are there set
Yeah.
up, and I quite new at the time, and I have my laptop with Serato and all of these things, and I call myself a messy DJ in the sense that I don't sort my my library at all.
Telling
I'm
all
one of
the
those
time.
That's
DJs.
just
Cussing
giving
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
anxiety
time.
That's
already.
do you see
Yeah.
these two? Yeah, that
Cussing
reaction
all
alone
the
will
time,
tell
bro.
you how I'm the worst technically. I love to freestyle my set. I don't like to keep my sets the same. That's the only reason I do that. Literally I'm on the fly constantly. But I know my music that well. I was like, oh, do you know what? I can actually experiment with say this mix today.
Okay.
But at the same time,
Okay.
I'm like that because when I started off with like bounce. I started off with garage and funky, but then I quickly went into deep tech house. And these times I'm talking about 2013, 2014. And I started going Ibiza, and I was DJing out in Ibiza, and I
Oh,
was
okay.
heavily, and yeah, I was like properly like. If you hear some of my mixes on Mixcloud, it's called they're all tech house mixes.
Yeah, yeah,
Like when
yeah,
it
yeah.
comes, I'm heavily into house like that.
Mm.
So I've crossed so many genres, and then
Coffee, we
I've got
got to hit some. We got to hit some raves this summer, man.
family.
Let
I'm
me.
telling
I'm
you.
booked though, so you better just jump on. After this, man.
Listen,
Yeah,
when
honestly,
you mentioned
roll.
your first dates, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to tell the missus, hey, just look after the youth, please. Yeah, I'm gonna go get twisted. I'm gonna go get twisted. No, but I would comfortably say, and I was gonna say, like when I've played before these two, I've literally been like trying to check myself because I'm just like these two are so good. Like selector, Oni's one wicked selector, and I was like, I have to make sure I'm in point with what I'm putting together. And then when it comes to all this scratching and all these other things, if you've seen Dan's mixes, it's just different scale. So different ways. These two like hanging over my shoulder. I'm just like, raw. I've not been DJing as long as these two, and I'm nowhere near as clean because I'm deliberately not organized like they are. They take it far.
On it.
This is so deep. They take it far more seriously than I do. I'm not saying I'm not taking it seriously because I am,
Yeah.
but compared to these two, nah. I'm not sitting there for hours organizing my library. Like if I showed you my library now, these guys will get migraines.
So basically, so what you're trying to say is that Dan technically is the better DJ. Oni is a little bit of a selector. Is that what we're saying?
Do you know what's
Guys,
so
I don't
funny?
want everybody. What's all this?
No. Do you know
I
what? I'm
like
gonna be.
him now, man. Let's cut to it. Who's
No.
the
Do you know
best?
what? Do you know
I
what?
want to
It's
know.
do you know what?
You see what he's
You know
doing? You see
Yeah, no, this guy's one of them ones that's just like this, isn't it? He's just always like that.
it's fine. It's fine.
No, but from what I've seen, honest hands down, Dan is technically when it comes to all scratching and whatnot and bouncing and juggling tracks, I've not seen anybody like him. The only person I've seen near him is Chris Cable. Do you know Cable, Oni?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've played him a few times. Yeah, it's cool. He's a
yeah,
cool guy. Very cool guy.
You
yeah.
said he was.
Very,
You said he
very
was
cool
shit
guy.
the other day. You
This
said he was
guy,
shit the
bro.
other day.
This
Uh,
guy.
I've
man.
never ever said that.
This,
I have.
You
What's
know
it?
what?
I have never said that.
You know
No,
what it is.
no.
You know why
DJ
I'm
Cable's
enjoying
a
this? Because
vet. Go
you know
on.
why I'm liking this? Because you DJs, the thing is having so much fun because there's so much egos being in check now. Everyone's behaving themselves, and they're over their girls. Nah, you know what? He's dead, man. I'm the
no,
best.
bro.
Watch this guy
Listen,
getting the
you know
bookings
what?
and
That's definitely something that I don't do. That's
Yeah,
something that I don't do.
at least
because you
there's
know
one
what?
of you in there that don't do. That's a
Oh,
good
this-
thing.
No,
man.
you know what? You can't because like you can't, you kind of get to that point where you're just like, you know what? Everybody's just trying to kind of express themselves. That the
Nah,
DJ
for
is just
real.
another expression.
yeah.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
Some people understand it different. So what you're actually hearing is just the way they understand it. Why do you then sometimes like as older DJs? I feel like, well, DJs that were probably my age when I was getting on, they probably wanted me to play more that express myself the way they express themselves. But unfortunately, I'm not them. They are not me. They don't see the music the way I see the music. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's DJs, like I said, that Craze is just one of those guys that sees music differently, totally differently. And then you get like another guy in his there's a white guy called Trays. Like there's Craze and Trays, and then they're still like turntablists, but they express music totally differently. Then you get Pioneer, and then you get Super D.
That was on our very first episode. Remember, we were
Oh
discussing
yeah.
who was the better DJ. That on our very first episode that we did of this, we actually said,
That's
well, my
that's
statement was,
hilarious.
Tight.
If I wanted to throw a party, it's Super D. But if I'm just chilling and I'll just hear good mixing and all of this stuff, right, the whole thing is Pioneer.
No, I'm going broke and getting both.
Yeah,
I'm going broke and
really.
getting both.
Yeah.
I'm telling you straight up, I'm going
Definitely.
broke and getting
Oh.
both, man.
I'll be honest. I've heard a lot of Super D's mixtapes, and I think Super D is a legend. However, I've actually seen. I was very fortunate to shadow a Kiss producer called Duncan. God rest his soul, just found that he passed away. And he used to produce at Kiss. And he was producing Pioneer Show when it was at Kiss, and I got a chance to actually shadow Pioneer when he was DJ. I'm not gonna lie. Pioneer is single-handedly, as in from what I've seen, technically clean. Technically
Yeah.
one of the cleanest DJs. Like he wasn't trying to jog the wheel. He was just literally straight
On
on
point
pitch,
each time.
like on point. Every mix was clean. So I have to admit, like Pioneer is the cleanest DJ I think I've actually witnessed and seen with my own two eyes. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. Like I don't know, you're right about certain DJs having their own sort of style in it, and I remember going to like a selection party a few years back. Those guys technically aren't the greatest, but their ears are just
Selector.
on a totally another level. Yeah. Again, selectors. For me, I appreciate selectors. Again, Mr. Thing. I've seen him DJ. He's got another great ear, and I guess this is more selfish for me. I rather listen to a DJ play something that I've never heard before, but in a unique way in a set, than to hear the same old stuff like the Bears' favorite track, Pink, Show Me. You know what I mean? So that was for me. You know what I mean? I like to. I like to, play something different, and throw a little bit of razzle dazzle in there for me anyway. So yeah.
So that's what you should come.
I'm-
Listen, look, Bounce. You should come at. That's the thing is, if you want to hear that, come to an originals. I know there's too many black people, and it's a little hood for you. But listen, at the end of the day, come to these raves. Not every day apple bum, man. Do you know what I mean? Like William and Johnson in the crowd. Come to,
I'm at
come
these
down.
raves. I'm at these raves.
You're
You
not
see me
there.
at
You're
these
not
raves,
there.
innit?
You're not there. You're not there. I see you at one rave. To be fair, we had a good time, but I'm playing. But no, it's just
Yeah,
the
we
DJ
did, we
thing,
did.
man. I'm intrigued, man, with you guys because you know what? I have to respect it, man. I have to respect it. It's a community,
hard art.
but it's a very lonely world as well. I can imagine, like
It's a hard art.
but but there's perks in it. So
There's a couple of
yeah,
but at the same time, it is a lonely world out there, man. Like seriously, like it's a lonely world. After you've been doing it for a long time as well, though, it just becomes second nature. So my pal took a screenshot of like this thing, and it's like different DJ poses for like different DJs, and it was funny that everyone kind of knows you as a DJ. Like your immediate circle will know what kind of DJ you are, like how you.
What
DJ,
different poses did you say? No, sorry, I didn't get. Did you say? Oh, what the pictures or?
Yeah, there's definitely a different pose. Like the experienced DJs are so calm. I'm like I was so calm one time in a rave that there was a guy on the mic, and it was getting to a point where the song was going to change, but because I was just so casual, I was actually looking over the counter talking like to my girl who had quickly tried to say something. So I looked at her. He thought that I wasn't paying attention. This dummy decided to just pull the crossfader over, right? And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why would you? It's like, oh, I thought you weren't paying attention. I'm just like, bro, I can multitask. Like, that's what you do when you mix 2 or 3 songs together. That's what you do.
As a DJ, if you're rolling a track and you're not paying attention, you actually are. But one ear always has to be on the track. You know what is where.
You know what's where. You know what's going on. He might look like he's not paying attention, but trust me, he knows what the fuck's going on. Like, and some people can just be like, you know what I mean? When you get those people, again, younger DJs, they won't really understand it because they're a little bit jittery. Like they're nervous. Like you can see, like sometimes they're trying to figure it out. But like an older DJ just knows. It's like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do when. It's not really a problem. Like Do you know what I mean? I think that's what them man like pioneering that. Every time they step on the decks, there's absolutely no doubt in your mind or their mind that it's gonna go south. Trust me.
Yeah,
And that's what comes with being like an experienced DJ. It's just like, don't worry, man. I've got this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all right. I know what to do in this situation. Like, because I've had promoters ringing me like, "Oh, can you bring your set forward?" And I'm like, "Look, relax. It's cool. Like, just let my man get his time. Like, you know, when you get like an opener and like, they might not really understand what opening is, because I think as a DJ, the opening part of the
Best
night
set.
is
Best
the
set.
best set. And if you can get them as like a beginner DJ, learn that opening part. Unfortunately, with DJs, they come into the game thinking they need that main set. That I need to be.
They need that 12 to 1, 1 to 2
I need
set.
that guy. I want to be that guy. Everybody's gassed. No, unfortunately, that's not how it works. There's a system.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And if you can be a good warm-up DJ, it will get you into so many different places. Like just knowing that when whoever turns up, they're like, you know what? Yeah, I need that guy, because when I get there, my job is so much easier. People don't understand that, and house DJs are the same, because if the opening acts from like, if you go to like an Ibiza from like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., they're just getting everybody vibing. Get the pill ready, let it set in. You know what I mean? Let it set in. By the time the Martinez brothers come on at 3 a.m., everyone's gassed.
Listen, dude.
I'm saying, like,
hey, you know what? After this, I'm listening to some Martinez brothers. You just reminded me. Them guys are wicked.
You know what? I remember when what you're saying is so. I mean, we're going into the house now, but you know what? You're right about who are the warm-up DJs or not. But I remember going to Music On, so that's. I think that was Amnesia, actually, the old Amnesia, and I remember it was Martinez Brothers came off first, which was weird, and then it was Marco Corolla. But
that's why.
If you are into house, like, okay, there's people that talk about vibes, but Marco Corolla is a film, innit? It's a movie. Like, there's gonna it's a whole it's like being at the opera, but it's not. Because it's just the way that he builds the tempo. But it's not like, okay, I'm gonna build you, drop you here. It's down, it's up. There's times where it honestly, we went there and I think we skanked for 7 hours in the same place. I didn't move.
You would.
Only to go to the toilet and back. It was just mad. And I thought Martinez Brothers played amazing. When I hear them in FIFA and I hear them here, for me, it's different. Because I go to Tobacco Dogs, I hear them, and then, but when I hear them, especially, do you know what it is? It's Marco Corolla.
It's the sun.
After you. So to be fair, you're not gonna get away with it. You know, you're on these, but I'm with you on that one. It's just the journey. There's another DJ. I don't know if you guys listen to him. Obviously, you listen to a bit Utech Kofi, but Maceo Plex.
Bro, I saw him at Hideout once. He blew everything out the park.
He
blew it all out the park.
Yeah. Oh, listen. The first time, I didn't even know. I just went. I think it was in somewhere. Was it Brixton? It was either somewhere in Brixton. And my boy Dennis was like, "Nah, come to this Maceo Plex." I'm like, I don't know. At that time, I'm on Hot Creations at this time. I'm new in it, so I'm like, nah, I want Hot Creations. I want Hot Creations. I want Defected. I want that, bro. I went there and he just had like the fire coming out of and that's, you see, with Maceo Plex for me as well, his production, it's like a film now, like, because I listen to him and I'm like, okay, this house ain't normal house. Like, I'll just find myself just listening to it for hours. And usually I'm a bit snobbish when it comes to, because everyone says, you want to go to Ibiza, you want to go to Barcelona for
off BCM.
Off Sona. And the thing is, but with me, I like babes though. Like I like to see like you band there, innit? Even if we're in Barcelona, everyone says, but you're in another country. Why don't you want to rave with? And Maceo Plex, I just had some crazy Italians around me, and I was feeling, oh god. But after a while, I was with him. I was with him. So it's a good thing that you've touched on that, because I think Bounce just thought I just like,
hip hop,
the high paced, house. But no, listen, literally, Marco Corolla, Maceo Plex, it's a movie there, man. It's a move. Yeah. Different animals.
Yeah. Do you know what? Just actually, I'm actually happy somebody gave some respect to Maceo Plex because I've been saying for the longest, yeah, low
Bounce,
key,
jump on it.
this guy.
Didn't we
In
see
fact,
Mason Plex when we went to Ibiza? Do you remember that first time that I went to Ibiza with you?
I don't think we
I
did. You
remember
know.
we landed, and then was it Marco Corollo or Mason Plex? All I know is it was loud, and I wanted to go home. Do you know what I mean?
See, that is that. What you just said there is mad. Like
You know
that
what?
is
There's some moments in
literally.
house music where it's just like there's certain songs that when it connects, and it's like when you're in that environment, and obviously like Mr. Bounce probably because he's like sounds like a pure hip hop head. He's not
he's a
about that
thoroughbred.
Not
line.
He's a
ready for that.
thoroughbred,
He's
bro.
not about that line.
He's not ready
no,
for
no.
that.
I'll be honest. I like my house, but imagine like it was
You
a
don't
long
like house.
flight there. It was hot. I went into the place, and all I heard was just loud 808s. And I was like, look, I just want to go home now. This is long. Innit? You know what I mean? Like,
Listen, you know what? I'll give you a moment.
it was long.
We dropped one time, and I heard someone, I can't remember who it was. Someone played "Eats Everything." Let's go dancing.
Oh, another
The
one.
way,
Oh,
the way
my
they
days.
built up, the way they just
Oh,
built
my
up.
days.
It's like the build up, and everybody it's just gassed, and then it just boom, and it's like shit. Like you can't beat it. This is why people. Like, I tell you what, this guy explained pills to me because I've never taken a pill. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I was curious, not facts. Like literally facts. So he said to me, like, you just stop, and he broke it down, and now I understand why house music and ecstasy go so well together. Like it is,
It's euphoria, bro.
It's euphoria. It's literally euphoria. And if I'm getting the high
Don't
I'm
do
getting
drugs,
off just
kid.
listening to music, I'm thinking, but I ain't never popping them pills because if I pop them, I'm going to space. Like I'm losing out.
That's what they want you to do. Why do you think space is called space?
Yeah, facts. Facts.
The thing is, but the and this is now we're going into house, which is good. The thing is, when you go to, if you do go to Ibiza, you go to different festivals and stuff like. So, for example, I kind of feel that every booking, it's all about the events that you book. When someone tells me, "Oh, I'm just going to Ibiza," I'm like, "Okay, cool. When are you going from?" Because usually it's been years, but I would drop on a Wednesday because I knew, do you know what I mean? It was going to be paradise. Like you need to tell me where you're
You need
going.
the schedule.
Don't just tell me that you're at, because when the schedule's there, I'll probably have one day off on a Thursday, which will be Ocean Beach, because that's just the point in it. Do you know what I mean? But
That's just the vibe.
apart from that, literally. So it literally is like you're going to watch a different film. That's how it should be, with house. You can't just say, when someone says, I like house, you need to be a bit more specific. That's just, you know what I mean? Because there's so many different styles and there's certain things that are going to grab you. And because when people say, I know it's crazy when it's, I can't listen to house all night. I just think to myself, oh, get out of here, man.
Get out of here.
Out quickly.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I can't listen to it. No, I'm not gonna lie to you.
No,
I do
come out
like
with us.
I like a little bit of house, but
Little bit.
not all night. Not all night, man.
Nah.
Like not all night at all. Like there's just no. I need to break it up a little bit.
They're
Funny
not ready,
enough,
Nobere. No, they're not ready.
Like
You know what?
dancehall,
Defected
I
will
can
be
listen
for
to
you.
all day.
Defected.
Nah, I think
for
defected
him-
will be too much.
Nah, I think Defected will be. Do you know why? Because
No, I don't
Defected
think
or
he's that
Richie Ahmed, you need them vocals, them soulful vocals, and that. And I think you'll be okay. Like honestly, I think that's where I'll take you, because I think Maceo might be a bit too
much.
It's like,
Too much.
You'll
Too
be
much.
like,
Yeah,
let me
Maceo
give him
Plex
those
is
pills.
too much, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
Mr. Plex is too
like
much.
that. Though.
However, though, I do like Cafe Mambo though. Cafe Mambo is nice. A little bit of, what do they call it? Is it Mark Night? A little bit of the more funky house. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? But all
That's
of
that-
that
that's-
house,
what-
Yeah.
But that's what you're saying, though, Nobere. Like the more vocal, I'll say uplifting house. I think these man
Yeah.
will be on a vibe.
Yeah,
of.
these man
And
will
don't
be
get me
on-
wrong,
yeah,
I can
yeah.
vibe to that all day as well. But
Yeah.
if I'm talking about raw energy, the lineup's missing, bruv. The lineup is not correct. My lineup would not be correct, bruv.
What would be your lineup? Because my perfect, listen, it's changed now. But my perfect will be like land on Wednesday. I'll have to go to Paradise, innit? Thursday I'll have off. Friday will be music on. with Marco Carola, and I think that was my best night, to be honest. Saturday, it would be Space, potentially Elro, I would say. It's only because I'm in Ibiza, in it, so
You have to roll to
Elro will
Elro.
always, yeah. Sunday will be that will be an interesting one because we'll keep that kind of open, but then Monday will have to be oh my god, Circo Loco. I'll have to do, and you mix it up, you're gonna get everything
You
there,
do.
you know.
You do.
Yeah, you're
There's
gonna
only
get
one thing
everything
you're
there.
missing from that,
What
although
are you
he's
talking about?
recently more emerged. Listen,
Black
drop
coffee.
black coffee in there.
Okay. Yeah. Where was he at? Where was his
Last time I
residency?
was there, I think I was with you, Bounce, when we were with Applebum a few years back.
High, in it? Is
In
it high?
he was at Ibiza that year
Yeah.
that we was in what's
Yeah.
it called? Ah,
Ushuaia, innit?
where were we? That year that you
We
did
was
the
in
Schweier, yeah.
So
That
Bounce,
year that you did
did
the
you?
yeah,
Schweier.
it was Ushuaia that
So
we
when
were
Black
at.
Coffee was on, when Black Coffee, you decided to go to Soul City instead, or did
He's
you go
sending.
to Black Coffee? Did you actually?
Hey, listen. Hey,
Why is
Policy's
he
my
trying to?
guy,
N- Now, now,
Policy's
Well,
my
now,
guy
now,
as
first,
well.
of, now, first and foremost, watch your mouth about Soul City, innit? Because remember when we went to Soul
I'm
City
just
and Noah was going down there?
listen.
listen.
No,
You know
we
what
beat
I'm
to Soul
saying?
City, but
Like,
I'm saying, listen,
yeah,
come on, man.
you
Black
know what I mean?
Coffee's
We've
in
been to
town.
Soul City. Yeah, like, no, I actually like black coffee. To be fair, I like black coffee a lot, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to see him now though. Like I, I don't know, man. I guess for me, I want to see some of the house legends like Masters at Work. I
See,
just want to see
soulful
them sort of
uplifting
guys. I want
house.
to like, you know what I
You
mean?
see, that's what look. These
Listen, that is
guys,
Soulful
me.
uplifting
That's
house.
me. I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's me. Or some more broken beat like Charisma. I think Charisma is still DJing, but like a Charisma and
Hey,
all them
Yeah,
sort
listen.
of
Don't
guys
you
like
think
that.
like that when like sorry to cut you, but like when EZ started doing all of this
house.
Q point stuff, like
Yeah,
Charisma as a DJ,
always been doing it.
he has always been doing that though.
Always been doing it.
Always. Even like it was even his tracks. His tracks are always built for anyway. Like, you know what I mean? When he
Yeah.
just cuts up the drums in a certain way, like he's always been doing that. But it's DJ EZ, isn't it?
Have you
So
listened
and I think
to?
DJ EZ was. Go on, what you saying?
No, I'm saying have you listened back to some of Charisma's? You might like some of Charisma's old Defected. You're right because
That's what I told you.
you're right. You're right. You are right.
Bro.
You know what?
Listen,
You know him. You know him. He
like, I
probably
looked
would
at
like some of
yeah.
Charisma's old soulful mixes from Defected. They're like double CD, 4 CD thing where he's mixed up. You probably like those because
I knew from the convo. I thought, okay, I'm talking, I'm listening. I thought, okay, Kofi, yeah, you two
Bro, we're going everywhere.
Defected,
Everywhere.
yeah, everything.
We're everywhere,
But
G.
yeah. The only way I think Dan will enjoy himself is boy. I'm a good boy, but if you know what I'm talking about, if Dan has a little Scooby snack, I think we'll be okay with it. Do you know what I mean? I think.
Oh no, that will there. I think so. You're right.
Yeah, but me, I'm not. I said I'm a presenter. I'm not condoning any of that. I'm just saying he'll. I'm sure. I last him
All I'm
stuff that
saying is,
Maceo
all I'm
plays
saying is,
after
if I
that.
hand you a bottle of water, bruh, you'll be nice afterwards. If it's supposedly a bottle of water, you'll be nice after that.
man there, I'm
Kofi,
keeping my cap
Kofi,
on, shaded
Dan.
up. I ain't playing no games. I'm drinking my water like this. Just like, yo.
You see DJ Dan, listen, he'll be telling me about Maceo place. I said, Dan, you sure you? No, I'm seen it all night, bro. Sure, bro. There's no vocals for about 2 hours. No, I'm here.
I don't mind.
Like, okay, cool. All right, we'll stay.
Dad, you see that water bottle there? Yeah. You see that water bottle there?
Jesus.
Nah,
Nice, man.
legit.
Like, listen,
Legit.
I
You
went
say
to,
that, but go on.
sorry, go on.
Go on.
No, I went to this. Funny enough, and that's why when I realized the subcultures were so big because you as sort of like I say mainstream DJs because if you're DJing in London, that's the kind of crowds are just different. So, I was out in Germany for a festival, like a dancehall / reggae festival, and the numbers and the people coming from across the world is just so insane. and Buju Banton just landed out of prison and he was there, and it was just, for me culturally, because that's my background, I kind of
Oh,
forgot.
okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like I kind of forgot because I'm
Certain
thinking,
somebody in here open for that guy now.
what do you mean?
Was it not? Oh, was it not? Was it not? Was it not you, Mister Bounce?
Was it a DJ
Yeah,
Dancy that
so
opened for him, or
This guy, bro.
yeah,
He's so
yeah. So
cold.
basically, yeah. So basically, what happened? So Nobere only saw it on Instagram, but I can tell you what happened. Yeah, that was it. We opened up for Buju a couple of years back,
who was on the
and yeah,
decks
it was
though?
in.
When would you? I just want to know,
This
like,
this
So
guy is
the
so
yes,
lippy.
yes. So these dancing was on the decks, and obviously I
Big up
was there
Paul.
hosting the set
and
as
you
well.
were
Do you know what I
doing
mean?
your
So.
pliers. I think you were doing your pliers impression, wasn't it? For Shaka Dean's pliers impression. It's a dope accent, man.
Have you ever heard that like you don't understand why they hate why they're outside of the carnival game?
Oh,
That's
here
pretty
we
much
go. I
Yeah.
what
was,
it's that's pretty much what's going on right now, innit? But no, yeah, Budge
nah,
a
man,
very,
big up.
very
It was
cool
good. It
guy,
was big.
man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, yeah,
Buju's
cool
dope.
guy,
I
man.
saw Buju, Coffee, and quite a few other sort of like household names. Like if you're around the Caribbean household, like they're just quite household. Like a lot of like, so like they brought people like Morgan Heritage. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Morgan Heritage.
Real
Yeah,
throwback.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
So like yeah, this festival is it's so crazy that it's out in the middle of Germany in Cologne, next to like a lake and a river, like the way it's linked up, and you can camp or you can just stay off site. But there's guys walking up to it's like carnival but chilled. That's what I can explain it as. It's like carnival, but everybody's sensible because it's Germany. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And then like there's guys walking with bum bags giving you like trying to sell you weed, like a handful of weed, like it's
Oh,
nuts.
that would sound correct, bruv.
Like it's
That
mad.
must be
It's mad.
flying. You know what that
It's
reminds
mad.
me of, Dan? Because I went to, well, not too far from Germany. I went to Loveland in Amsterdam, and it was similar to that. It was like this lake, you know, like it was just like wherever I
They
mean, it
know
was a beautiful low. Yeah, it
Do
was
you
a
know what?
beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful setting. But
you guys are
yeah.
lucky. One time I was in Rome. One of my pals, it's actually a basketball tournament. It's got nothing to do with a festival. Yeah, one of my guys, he loved to smoke a little bit, and he just asked some dudes in the corner, hey, because they looked like they were shutting. He said, "Oh, you guys got a little something." I kid you not, yeah. These guys said, "Yeah, we're gonna go holler at my man, round the next corner." I swear to God, I saw mine just drapes the grass on the floor and put it in a bag. Yeah, I kid you not. He drapes the grass on the floor and put it in a bag. And my pal, he said, "All right, cool, looks clean. This, that, the other." I was like, "Are you all right, bro?" Like, yeah, I'm gonna
It's
smoke it.
clean.
I was like, "Bruv, it's grass." I said, "It's just grass." And he said, no, it's not. It's like, smell it. I'm like, I do not want to smell that. I saw my drapes. He was smoking grass, yeah. And then when he took the first puff, like, what the fuck is this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, bro, I told you it's grass. And you see the man on the other side, they took his money and laughing at him. At least you guys were getting offered probably some decent stuff.
Is he still your friend, or you got still friends?
I mean, we don't talk so much these days, but still, I was just like, what? What is wrong with you, bro? But yeah, is what it is. Is what it is. Oh, actually, quick question. What do you guys think of London's party scene?
No, you know
That
what?
answers it all.
No. Do you know what? Because the house, the funky, for me, for the last, what we now 20. I need to ask what year we are, because obviously after COVID, like I feel like we've missed, you know what I mean? Like a good 18 months. For the last probably 4 or 5 years, I think it's been dope. It depends on where you go. As I said, I haven't really gone to a lot of hip hop. I think I went to Living Proof once. Have I been to Applebum? I don't. It's been a long time since I've been to Applebum. I know Bounce is, shutting it down with them guys. So big up them guys. They keep doing the things. But I've literally just gone to house rave, house festival, and for me, it's been a dope 5 years. Like for real, like it has been. I think 2018 or 2019 was mad. Like I think
Peak year.
so many events. Oh, so many events. I was I was at Oslo in Barcelona. You'll see me at We Are. If I wasn't at We Are, I'll be Defected or be, Tobacco
Damn, this
Dock's
guy
one of
was
the
balling.
bro. Yeah, Tobacco Dock's one of the best venues if you go down to the car park.
Mm,
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
car
yeah.
park is so dingy and long, like
yeah,
you just want to get to
it's
the end.
proper
So for
rave
me,
vibes.
bro, proper rave. So for me, listening, being in the house and going out, it's been fantastic 5 years. But
Mm.
that's because of that genre of music. It just doesn't stop. It's a community. It just keeps going and going and going. So for me, it's been dope.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I got to disagree in it. I think so. I've come from the era of when they used to do like forward parties by Rinse FM on a Thursday night at Plastic People, and you could go there on a Thursday night and you just don't know who you're gonna see. Spyro used to be on there doing funky. Marcus used to be on there. Scream and Benga used to be on there. I remember going on there for their birthday bash, which was
We're talking
absolutely a
like
random
2013,
night.
2014. Fucking hell, that's mad.
2013, 2014, yeah, like, oh, what's it going? Plastic People, the Matter in the O2. Then you had, and I just feel like so many spaces that are just really closed down because for whatever reason, whether it be police, whether it be the forms that the DJs had to fill in, or whether it's just the demand is gone. I don't know, man. I just feel it's not the same. I don't feel like it's the same. You need an alibi. Now alibi's closed down. What was the one just further down Dalston, Kingsland? The one that you go downstairs. I forget.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What? Not
Yeah,
King? Oh no,
yeah,
that's
I forget the
King
name
on the
of.
birthdays.
Like it's no, not birthdays. Way before birthdays, just
No,
before
no,
the
Berkeley's is
junction.
further up. Is the way, yeah,
Just before the
exactly
Oh,
that
junction.
before you
one
get to
there.
the traffic light
Yeah,
junction
yeah, yeah, yeah.
at
On the
Dalston
right
Yeah,
hand
yeah,
side.
Kingsland.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Do
yeah,
you
I know
know?
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Open up bare late.
that one there. Yeah, like what's it? This is for me. I just think there's a lot of places that are closed, and and
It's house.
yeah, for
It's
me it's
killing
just
you
not.
now.
For me, it's just not the same. Well,
It's
don't
got
get
No
me
it.
wrong,
one's
though.
going.
I think
No,
house is more like day parties, though.
no, I'm
It's
not all
not.
the time.
And
It's
like,
No, no, no.
and I think for me, like when I see that there was worrying times for house music is when they started playing house music like during brunch sessions. I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? Do you know what I
Bruv,
mean?
because
Like,
you can.
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
about
it's
that,
killed
Bruv,
man.
it.
You know
wait.
what I mean?
It's killed it. It's killed it. That's right.
I
That's
don't.
right. It's funny that you said the last 5 years. I said it's been peak for me, and the last 5 years you're saying it's been that because, listen, let's not try to jump this festival thing. We're kind of late on it. Like these old
As a
school
country,
ravers, no, in terms of our community, really, in terms of the Black UK, because these old school house heads that will go into IB friend and nights and stuff, they've continuously been going to these festivals. It's only now when you
Mm,
start looking at, oh, I'm going festival, I'm going festival, I'm going festival. It is got to do with dance music.
mm,
Now you've got your wireless, which is an anomaly there. It's there and it works, but you know what sort of crowd you're gonna get there. These
mm,
are people that just finished their GCSEs and they want to
mhm.
cut their teeth there. But the
yeah, but
house
then even as
music or dance music
but
has killed these clubs now. Like let's be that's what you're. I'm not
no,
suffering. I'm saying I've had an
Like,
amazing 5 years.
look. Okay,
I
pause.
don't.
Let's not we can't have it being like hip hop and R&B versus the dance. Like it can't. I
It's not that
It's
listen
though.
not
and
that.
hold on. I give it to you. Yeah, the house scene is flourishing. It's your community is there. I'm not gonna lie. I've got a cousin. Listen, he knows way too many people. It's like, how do you go into a dance and come out with 25 friends? I'm confused. I'm so
He's
confused.
socialite, bruv. He's a
I love
I'm
this
so
socialite.
Dan.
confused.
I love
But
this Dan guy. It's so real what you're
I do
saying.
love that house music does that. The community of house music does that. But soca does that. Soca, the right soca scene,
Yeah,
them men are like pals. They'll you put a soca rave on, they just turn up. Like they go
Yeah,
where the
100%.
dance is, right?
Do you know why though? That is because it's so scarce.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
only because
mm,
it's so
yeah.
scarce.
And again, like that's what I'm saying. It's another subculture that we probably don't know everything about. We might know one or two tunes, but these I've followed some guys and they doing big numbers. I know this Dunny that's just before COVID, anyways, he was traveling all over the world, doing so many soca bits, and the pictures are just insane. He has a really really good time. but then hip hop and R&B has become a little bit watered down. Unless, and this is the problem, even though it's the majority, because there's more hip hop and R&B dances,
of course,
than the house dances, than the soca dances.
Do you think
I
so?
think yeah,
Yeah,
100%, 100%. The
Yeah,
quality,
it's not. It's not even close.
the quality though. So you get a couple of
Okay.
standout dances.
Like what though? Name the one that I
Um,
would say is coming out all the like. Yeah, okay,
I'll tell you
standard.
what,
We know
and,
this.
and coming out of like what Mr.
London.
Bounce was saying, yeah,
Mm.
like that
What, raves, you
2013,
said?
2014, there was like nights that were put on that were just notorious, like through Shoreditch as well, like all over London.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and some of those nights, I'm not sure if they're all still about, but just off the top of my head, Super Duper's was a good night. It was.
Super Duper Fly.
Yeah.
Super
Okay.
Duper, Super Duper
Yeah.
was a good night. I can't remember who it was. There was another bunch
Living
of people
Proof.
Yeah, and there's another
They're
bunch of people that put on a
dispersed, though.
dance at the book club, and obviously you know what it means. Well, if you don't get to the book club early, it's a wrap for you.
Yeah, yeah.
You ain't coming up in there. If you don't know a DJ or something, good luck. But there's a few out there. The problem is, it's like we've got to search for them, because I think the scene is also kind of watered down, and with ages as well. With house music, it doesn't matter. Like, you're all in there. You're gonna get some 18-year-olds in the house dance. Facts. You're gonna get that. But with hip hop and R&B, depending on like what it is, there might be some older people. And it's I guess I would say mostly older people, but the youngers listen to a totally different music, but they kind of put it under the same genre.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know
my
something?
opinion.
Do you know something? I think this is where I really benefit from having DJed quite intensively, actually, in both scenes. The thing with the house scene is that the youths are in there because youths will come out from a certain stage, right? And they just want to experiment. Where do you experiment? In a house rave. A lot of these youths, they want to do drugs, they want to do all of these things. I'll never forget when I went to Hideout Festival back in 2015. These youths were literally night and day. They were night and day. I'll never forget. There was one girl.
Call his mum.
She was in a K-hole, bruv. She was in a
Okay.
K-hole. This was when people were doing ket heavily, but she was clearly very young. Anyway, next thing you know, we're at the airport and I see the same girl, fresh as a daisy, right? And this is all that goes through people's heads. And what's going to happen is that they're going to go and then tell this story to somebody else, and they're like, oh, I want to do that, and it keeps going in a cycle. Hip hop and R&B, on the other hand, like you just said,
It's not a drug culture.
it's not a drug
It's not a
culture.
drug-
It's not a
No
drug
Depends where
culture.
you are.
No
But-
disrespect to like. I'm not saying that because I'm getting at you or nothing. That's not what it is. I'm just saying.
Oh no,
you
I'm not
know-
taking it. It's not my.
No, it's not a
You know what I
shot,
mean?
innit?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what you're getting. Like
DJ Dan, say what's on your chest. Say what's on your chest. It's basically house music is just say what's on your chest, innit? You know what I mean? Just
listen. Let's talk about it.
No, listen. You know what's an interesting point? That is going to be on to the next thing. That's an interesting point.
Like, let's
I'll let you
because, like,
finish, and then yeah.
Hip hop and R&B, we're getting rowdy. Like hip hop and R&B, throw a little bit of bashment in there. Tutu, you know what I mean, rum and cokes or whatever, little rare nephew shot. Hey, you know what I mean? You're having a good night. You're having a real good night with the right DJ, right settings. You're having a real good night. Hip hop and R&B night, right? Whereas like a house thing is like you can get a leg up with the pill. Like you've got a leg up straight away. Like I'm under no illusions that some people have come out of house raves and the rave has been 20 times better than what they thought it was just because they were on that pill. Like,
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, you can make that point, but that's not the whole
blown up
picture.
because they were on this pill and they were their pals and everybody was on pills, so their perception of what was going on was different. You know?
No, okay, listen, put it this way.
Yeah, okay, you
Go on.
go and I'll go. Yeah, you
Right,
go.
put it this way. I think one of the reasons I love my hip hop and R&B, like love my hip hop and R&B properly.
Same.
The reason I dipped into house though was because I felt hip hop and R&B was getting monotonous in its delivery. And there's only no offense, right? People can go week in, week out to a house rave because a majority of the time it's just sounds per se. A lot of the time you hear sounds you've never heard before. A lot of the time, that's where hip hop was thriving once upon a time. That's how it all came about because you had DJs cutting up songs you've never heard before, And that's why I actually love tech house. Everybody says it sounds the same, but if you really deep it, it's actually all so different on so many levels. So you can come in, although you're high on something else, a lot of the sounds are hitting you so differently. There's only so many times you can go to a rave. You can't go every single week and sing Lean Back or Who's That Girl. You can't go every week, can you?
Some people can
Unless
and still play
Now,
the same
no,
thing.
cases,
no.
let's be honest. So there was a time where every house DJ and Nobere, I know that you double into house. I'm pretty sure in your selection you had that Julio Bashmore tune and Disclosure White. I'm pretty sure there was a time
No,
that
no.
every
Listen, look,
DJ in there,
no.
like every house
I'm gonna
DJ,
have
had
to
the Julio Bashmore.
no,
Of
listen,
course, everybody
I've
had
got
Julia Bashmore in there. You had
no,
to. It was sacrilege if you didn't.
now to be fair, I'm gonna disagree. And I think it's at that level of you guys aren't house guys. Like it's clear. Because if you had 10 different house DJs here and you
Are
came
you
out and said
including
that
me in this?
no, because you're a house guy in it. But
Oh,
I'm
damn.
more leaning to bounce. Like DJ Dad, he's done things respectfully. Do you know what I mean? Which I like. He shit on us in a nice way, and I like that. I respect that. But if you had 10 different house DJs, you had Maceo Plex, you had Jamie Jones, for example, you had
Be Fast, Dennis Ferreira,
hot since
Martina,
yeah, and
Hot
you
Since
said that
82, Eat
they'll look
Everything,
at you
Jomo
and think like,
Gante.
bro, we don't even like, you don't understand.
All
Like,
of them are
there's
different.
levels to it. The thing is, there's levels that bounce you're not gonna ever get because as a DJ, you trying to please everybody. You'll play Drake. You'll play Biggie. You'll now try to probably play Iggy Azalea. You have to go and play, Cardi B. But what you'll do, you'll do that.
Shots
But
are
what you
being
got,
fired.
what you got to realize is that when you go to Hot Creations, they're playing their own stuff, bro. They're producing their own. You are a DJ that is not producing your own shit. Let's just be real. You're not. You're playing other people's stuff. That's what you are doing. You're
And the way
Let's
we
be
get
honest.
creative
Okay.
is the way we mix and blend the tracks.
Yeah.
These guys have got their own production. These are their tracks. When
But
you're
how
hearing
many
this,
of their own
what do you mean? How
productions
many?
are they gonna like? Let's
But I'm telling
let's
you
be
though, you
totally
go to
honest. The only
Defected.
guys, the
Go on.
the
Here we
only
go.
the only guys I see them that will only play entirely their own tracks is probably like the house masters, like the Kerry Chandlers, the
No.
So
Lou
Creations.
Vegas.
They're
Yeah, no,
not
but they
playing their
at
own.
the same time.
I'll tell you what.
Oh my
Remember
God.
Benediction?
Look,
You know the song Benediction, yeah?
slow
Do you ever
down.
remember the song
To me, yeah,
Benediction?
all
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, look, everybody here must know the song Hot
Yeah.
Creations Benediction, yeah?
Yeah.
When that was first tested on the crowd, yeah, people lost their flipping minds. Do you know how much, even if you're 40, 50 years old, it's got a certain level of nostalgia in it. But the first time, it was Hot Creations' own stuff. It come out their studio. Thank you. See, look at you, getting wavy. Yeah,
Vibes. Okay.
it's such a wavy track that
I'm
they're
not
testing.
helping. I'm not helping.
The things,
I'm
a
not
lot of
helping,
these
dog.
people
It's a
are
decent
constantly
track.
testing tracks. No, for you,
No, listen.
track.
You get
Decent
look,
track,
Hot
but you know it.
Creation,
But you know it.
2013, 2012, 2013, you got Hungry
That was
for
their
Power.
years.
But what I'm saying is that you not in a back there's DJs and then this is their own sound. There's DJs that you lot play everything in it. You're waiting for an artist to help you sound good. These guys are producing. Maceo Plex is produced. He's not just. This is my sound, innit? Like when I hear Mr. Bounce, I want if say Applebum, for example. I go into Applebum. If I go to Applebum or I go into a Living Proof, maybe the way that you deliver it is a bit different. Maybe Living Proof is gonna have a little bit more less bait tracks because you're gonna have to do your market. But you're playing hip hop, isn't it? You're playing R&B and hip hop. That's what you're playing.
Yeah.
You're not Kofi has spoken about tech. I could not even be interested in tech house and do something completely different, a different journey. If I was, so you've got to put a little bit respect. Like these ain't just DJs. Like these guys are producing. They've got their own production and their own raves and their week parties. worldwide.
Nobody is saying nobody is saying that they're not playing it like they're not going to play their own tune.
You
But
just said that you
if we put
only
it in
know one
percentages,
person that did that.
if we're doing it in percentages, guaranteed 25% of their set per their own productions, 75% of the tracks you're going to be hearing. I don't know, Fish Go Deep or Dennis Ferrer. Yeah,
See, look,
you know what I mean?
Desperate is wicked though. Desperate is
I know,
wicked.
and he is, and he is, but like they're DJs
Where are
at the
you
end of the day.
hearing
They got
that?
to cater to a crowd. If a crowd is dancing,
No, but
like
where are you hearing?
it's true.
Listen,
Like
the thing
it
is,
like
listen, you go to a hip hop rave, for example, or Apple Bum, for example, and you can go and play, and I've heard you'll play Pra's Ghetto Superstar, and you're gonna get, oh yeah, I like that. Trust me, go and play Fish Go Deep at a tech rave and see what will actually happen. You'll never play again. Like you got to
You
understand, it's
won't.
very tribal. Like that's what I'm
won't.
saying. You got house, you lot hear it in it. It's like it's like
Play Fish
I'm
Go
listening.
Deep. If you're opening for flipping Black Coffee, you'll get away with it. In fact, they'll love you. They'll love you because it's on
a
that vibe.
different vibe. That's what I'm trying to
But
say.
if you're paying Fish Go Deep and Maceo Plex is next up, bruv, they'll be dashing the coke at you, fam.
But then I guess that's okay into the crowd though. That's what DJs do. I mean, yeah, they might get away with playing some new stuff, but essentially they're catering to a crowd. Like,
no. You go to Hot
reinvent the
Creation.
wheel here and say that they're
No. If you go to Paradise, you book those events because of what they're really bringing to the table. That is the sound. They've got their own sound and their own nights. Like it's very tribalistic. You're not gonna go to Hot Creation and say, yeah, I think you know what, maybe I could get Super EZ in here, and it's not that like there. I think you just got to put a little bit more respect. They're producing their own tracks.
You know what?
And
I do hear what you're saying. I do.
But
yeah. No, there's no buts because the way some of the equipment is geared, especially sort of like the CDJs and stuff. Like, I don't even think a lot of these guys still use that. When you actually deep the stuff that they're using in some of these raves, and you will probably see it in the next couple of years, they're live producing some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is
house
like,
DJs.
Yeah. Some of this stuff on scale, we obviously don't see, and we're talking about sort of like the local guys, and it's not like coming from a crazy place or nothing, but like some of these other guys, there's you could call them house or whatever, but some of these guys, they're literally producing the songs to the crowd, and depending on like what the reaction they get, they'll play like a different. It's just nuts, and you have to give them that kind of respect because to do that live is mad.
Very brave.
It's mad. It's mad to be playing a bass line live. See, Carl Cox explains it pretty well. That's why he uses 4 decks, because he will just be like playing a bass line, and then he'll get like something else from another bit, and he'll just mesh it all together. And depending on what the crowd are feeling, then he'll just he
It'll be a completely new track.
Yeah.
In all honesty, though, in saying that, what I was gonna say, I genuinely think hip hop and R&B DJs are much more
100%
better technically
100%
than house DJs.
Much more creative.
Simply because of how you have to think of the vocals, you have to think of when first verse is gonna drop, or this chorus or the bridge is gonna drop when you want to mix it in. Whereas because you got the monotony of a beat, even if you are creating on the fly, it's easier to jump in because you just have to think probably of maybe a key change somewhere in the track. That's it. So technically, I think hip hop DJs will and always will be.
That's what I said when I'm speaking to you, Free. It's a lot of respect for you because I don't in my house every day in my earpods. I don't listen to house, you know. Like the way I'm talking is like you think that's just a house
junkie.
I generally don't. Bounce. How many times I don't have house conversations with you? We're talking about hip hop. We're doing that was a vibe house. You know what I mean? Like we will go back and that's all I listen to. But when I go out, I just respect it. And I remember when I went to IB for this possibly 2011, 2012, and my boy Dennis, that Bounce knows. And I remember just sitting there talking to him, and I was like, okay, who's this guy? And he was telling me, yeah, he's this guy, and he's got his own label. I said, he's got his own label. And he's producing, and he's got another one called Lev3ls. He's under him now. And I I was like, like, are you for real? And people follow them everywhere. I'm
Everywhere.
in Spain, in Barcelona. What the hell is Kofi doing there? Like, but I know Kofi's gonna be there. Every
You know
house
I'm gonna have my
festival is
shades on.
sell out. It's sell out. It's sold out.
Oi.
Like, it's done because I know. I don't need to ask you. I know you're gonna be there. Like, how are you not gonna see it? But you're right. Technically, hip hop, you man. I know you.
They
DJ
can't.
more than
They
that.
can't see them.
You lot on another
No, I
level.
can't see
Yeah.
hip hop
No, no,
DJs.
no. They're technically, come on. Like, that's my music. At least it's the R&B hip hop. But when I'm out, I
Right,
don't
that was
know,
a bigger
it's
debate than I
interesting.
thought. To be honest, I never thought it was gonna get
Because
that
Oli
deep
was
into the
coming up with
house.
some blasphemous stuff, man. I was like, wow. But Oni, you got to get to know these guys are like. I know you're a DJ, and the number. It's
Look,
serious
I
big
hear what
business
you're
here,
saying.
isn't it?
No, I hear what you're saying, but I'll be honest. It's not new that I've seen in it from when I'm seeing, I don't know, bloody Richie Arts or some of these electronic artists are like flying lows. So it's like they're all making beats on the fly. At least them man are making their own beats, whereas there are the Richie Ahmed guys still DJ. But you know what? I give them respect. I guess it's just the nature of the beast, innit? That's house music, innit? So house music is vibes. But there was when I was in seeing actually Kofi, you was with us in Berlin, innit?
Where?
We went to Berlin. We went to Cater Blau, right?
Oh my days. Family.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know if you were. So there was a boat party that was that on at like 2 a.m. sound, right? And this is when it was 2 a.m. We got into this boat, and this guy was playing vinyl. I swear down, he was playing vinyl house.
On a boat.
From there, I was like, okay, now this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see in it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can see
No, I get
he's got a good
I get.
ear.
Yeah. No, listen,
Do you know what I
I
mean?
get
So
that, but I just think, obviously, I'm gonna move on to hip hop in a second though, because you talk about technical DJs, but I'll hold on to. I gotta mention this story, but with house, bro, like I think by hearing you today, you actually haven't even gone into the ocean. Like you're literally on the pebbles because, like, and it doesn't mean that you have to. It's not because there's certain genres. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, like this is me, but yeah, it's a little bit more intricate than that. But technically, see, talking about like hip hop and R&B, I remember. You know what? It's a good. I need to remember. Bro. You just mentioned it, Dan, earlier about Southport Weekender, and I went. When did Man City win the league? Was it 2012?
Well, the first time. 2011,
Well,
2012.
2011, 2012, and I went to Southport, and at that time it had moved from Southport though. It was still called Southport Weekend. I forgot where it was, and I went there for the first time. And while we were there,
the chalet parties, isn't it?
No, yeah, you got the day parties are the best thing, to be fair. But I think you had different DJs, and I remember
Or the
someone
smaller
like,
chalet, the chalet parties, isn't it?
the chalet parties, yeah. But they were like, nah, we gotta go and see DJ Jazzy Jeff. I was like,
Oh
what?
Lord, listen.
I was
go.
like, DJ Jack, I said, okay, cool. Let's get this over with so we can go.
No, it's
I was near these decks, bro. I couldn't
no.
believe what I was seeing.
Yeah.
I didn't honestly, technically, and you guys can tell me more because this is your genre. I'm just a mere mortal out here, innit? And I was watching him and the mixing. I was like,
Jazzy Jeff is something else, bruv. He's something else.
Technically,
he's something
have
else.
you seen him live? Have you heard him mix or any?
Yeah,
a few times.
Yeah,
he's incredible, bro. Absolutely.
Incredible
For me,
DJ.
he's my favorite. He's my personal favorite.
What?
My personal
really?
favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. DJ Jazzy Jeff, I like him. I've seen him live a few times. I remember one time I saw him live and it went left. So
really?
it's gone left because sometimes the technicality can just go to people's heads, innit? You know what I mean? So it's only like the
I was with
enthusiasts.
I was with you. Was this the one in Brixton?
Was it Brixton or was it in it was in Scala. It was Scala, wasn't it? Wasn't it Scala?
No, it was in Brixton.
So I remember seeing him in Scala. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So so I remember seeing him and it went left. But for me, I guess my top, like DJ Jazzy Jeff is obviously there because I love these mixtapes from back in the day. Like I used to listen to these mixtapes like religiously. Scratch, DJ Scratch from New York is for me like levels above. And then I guess Project Guy. I love Westwood, man. I like Westwood. Them guys there. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at me sideways, but I think Westwood for me. There's a reason why
I
he's
want to
been
see what
doing it for
Dad's
No,
so
saying.
long,
Though.
innit? There's a reason
no,
why.
no. Do you know what?
There's a
Yeah,
reason why.
Westwood DJ annoys the hell out of me. Westwood club DJ, radio DJ, I should say, annoys me. Club Westwood though, nah. He's a
Shut down.
different actual animal.
Shut down.
He's literally Super Saiyan in the club. Like he's that good. Westwood, I'll give it to you. He's that good in the club.
He put some. I used to
There's a
listen.
reason why. Like,
He's a selector.
come,
No, Westwood is an absolute
yeah.
selector.
What's the hip hop R&B festival in Croatia?
Fresh Island.
Fresh Island.
Fresh Island, that's the one. Fresh Island, didn't it? And I did a pool party for Shaka, and I came back, and he had been on the DJ for 3 hours prior to that, right? And I didn't see this guy take a drink of water. This guy's a beast. This guy's an absolute
Listen,
beast.
if you go Fresh Island and you don't go to a Westwood pool party, you've missed out massively. Like massively. If you drop at Fresh Island Festival and you don't go to listen, they were the legend. I remember we went and they were the legendary party. As soon as I heard Westwood's, let's go, get dressed, we're gone. Call the taxi, we're there. Westwood
The
pool
vibe.
party.
Yeah,
Going
I'm still
off.
there, bro. Man,
Like it was absolutely going off. Like
Yeah.
those Westwood pool parties were just legendary, man. I mean, it's a shame that he might get torn down soon, but that's another story for another day.
There you go, innit? But yeah, there's a reason why for me, like I've always rated him highly because for him to be doing it for so long, doesn't have an opening DJ, doesn't have a closing DJ, he does the whole thing himself. Like, you know,
But he's a
there's a reason
classic
why.
DJ at heart. He plays all the new stuff, but he's a classic DJ.
And this is, you know what it is, and this kind of gets me onto what I think about the state of hip hop and R&B, sort of like for DJs in the UK. Like this is the problem we're having because there's not many people out there that kind of want to. Those parties just aren't out there as much anymore.
yeah.
They're not out there as much.
Yeah, they're not.
Where like nowadays, I'm obviously I haven't been DJing I DJed like about 2 weeks ago for the first time, and I've been obviously back on radio, but being out, it was like the first time about 2 weeks ago. And I think people are just begging for something. They're like just begging for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those people, like the target market for this kind of stuff, because they're like so much older than these like 18-year-olds, these people like they need to know if they're gonna leave their yard, it's gonna be worth it. Like you saw what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Yeah.
I think we're in a position where like and a Westwood, 9 times out of 10, say what you want, have your views, whatever. If you know Westwood's putting on an event, you can't complain that the music's going to be pants because it won't.
Because it's
like,
not.
You know it won't. You know it won't.
Yeah.
It might have
It's
some
not
young
gonna be.
things in the dance, but like the music definitely won't be pants.
Yeah.
But also, I think like the events like that, they're like once every 2 months or something like that. It's just they're not as regular as they should be, I feel, because you go to something like the local places and they're just playing. And again, I don't want to fucking, bash
Shoot
anyone,
yourself
but
in the
like,
foot.
Yeah, but like you just, it's like you're in there for 5 minutes. You're like, I'm not sure if I even like this. This is just, it's not really a bit of me, but.
And do you know what? That there is why when you step in the house dances, yeah, immediately you're vibing. Honestly, from that reaction,
I can't agree with that because I've never been in a house where even immediately I'm vibing. It's taking
Dan,
me a
this
while.
is my mission. This year is my mission. Look, Kofi, I've had enough of it. Dan, you're rolling. You're rolling. I've had enough. Like, I'm sick of this.
you know what? Hey, Dan, I'll take you to some
Dan,
Amapiano raves. Oh my
Yeah.
days, bro.
Listen.
Amapiano will take over your life.
I'll tell
I've
you what
heard-
I am
listen.
missing though. Like, Oh no, yeah, you talk about Westwood Dan and Mr. Bounce, yeah. And I remember years ago, what I will rate the fact that he brought Biggie over all them years ago. To it would have been Temple, but it would have been in Tottenham. But it's not even how many rappers he's kind of brought over here. I remember that. Let me make sure I got the year right. There was a year that is it Hammersmith? Was it called Punana?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Club
Bruna,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah,
Bruna.
yeah.
And I
Bruv, we are
remember now.
old. We are
Club
old for
Listen, we're
remembering
Bruna.
old.
that. We are
And
old.
I
These old
remember
men in
that.
the chat, bro.
No,
Jesus.
trust me. And I remember Punana. And I remember it. Hold on. It could be 2000 or maybe two. No, hold on. I think it must have been. Yeah, it must have been 2000, 2001. Because Jay-Z dropped the blueprint. And I
Yeah.
remember Westwood brought him down. I don't know if anybody was there. And it was just the buzz. Because remember, at this time, he's the biggest in the world now, isn't it? Like, he's just dropped the blueprint, you know. And I was thinking to myself, I remember the excitement with trying to scramble to get a ticket to get to this because of Westwood. And that one thing, whatever people say about Westwood, you know, I don't know the dude, but those nights, it just doesn't happen anymore. Like the excitement, like this guy, like Punana, I remember it was full of chicks that night. But when Jay came on, bro, they got moved to the side. Like this, that's probably one of the best concerts I've been to because it was an underground Westwood. I think he probably just dropped it on the day to say, yeah, listen, no, I got Jay coming down. I'm there at the front. You got Jay coming up. You've got Dame Dash with it. This was rock bounce. This was rocker. Listen, this was
It's
in the
peak.
pop.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I'm just sitting there, like, nah, man, Westwood, you done it, man. Like you
Listen.
really done it. It's a Wednesday night. You've really done it. You know what I mean?
Listen,
So
he's always bringing
he's
people.
a legend. He's a
He's
legend.
a legend. He brings too many people, man. Like I remember being in a spot, and we went to a brunch one time, and I don't know if you guys know dancehall like that, but like, do you know Dexter Daps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Westwood had Dexter Daps in the dance performing. And
When was this?
This is about 2 years ago.
Mm.
About 2 years ago. I remember like he was performing, but people weren't really paying attention. But I had already heard like
Of
the
Dexter
songs,
Daps.
right? And I've heard of it. But he didn't do he didn't do Mother Pup. He didn't do that song. He did another song. Just like one of his nicer songs. He's talking to the gal because he thought he was good. That's the kind of party, but didn't really go down as well. But like I'm talking, he brings out people from him to like UK rappers, all that kind of stuff. He's always trying to bust people, and I think when people get on his case, they don't realize like what he actually does for the industry, for the scene, and that. Like they don't really get it. Do you know what I mean? Like other people, there's people out there trying to do that now. Tiffany Calver does a few bits like that. She'll try and bring some of these artists out and stuff like. But
You know,
again,
No, and you know what? Now that we're moving on to this, and I think I can say because I'm out of the DJ world though, but there's other DJs, and there's one guy that I'm gonna mention that because you're talking about who brings them out and who's been working so hard for years, and I just don't think Manny Norte gets the flowers that he deserves, bro. And I'm being real,
he
like
doesn't.
I sit here and think,
yeah.
you know, we had Sloth, you know, we had the show there, and I know obviously Manny Norte's got his show, it's Capital, right? Yeah,
Yeah, Capital Extra.
yeah. But I think that I just don't think he gets the flowers that he deserves. He's been in here for years, and he has had some
No, he has.
top interviews as well. And I remember even when this was because I know we said we're going to be talking about some trainers a little bit later, but I remember when 2015, the first Yeezy 350. So I was there at the Adidas store and Kanye turned up. And it was Manny Norte, and it was Manny Norte again.
Yeah.
Shelling it down.
And
like,
he was there
all
shelling.
the big events. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So for me, I just don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Or maybe he does. Maybe he does. But for me, like, he's been.
No, I think he does. I think
yeah.
I think the one DJ that really does need to get his props is DJ Abranti. Now that guy there, like he really put on Afro beats before
Oh
we're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
seeing now,
Oh
and he
yes, he
really
did.
did from before
100%.
everyone. Like,
He was on Choice
so
back in
for
the
him,
day,
I
right?
think he
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He
it
was
was
on
Choice.
Trace back in the
Abrante's been
as
Abrante.
Yeah, yeah.
from
He's
time. From
he's been
time,
going
man,
for a minute.
and he was doing parties in Ghana before people were doing that. Like he really
Yeah.
was pushing the scene and pushing this Afro beats and African vibes and all this stuff before
You
anybody.
know
And
what?
I
When
don't
you
think
got
he gets
now that you're shutting it out though, Bounce, because now we're moving on, and you were talking about tribal house. You got to big up Fiddler as well, because
Mm.
everybody's talking to me about black coffee in the last like 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I know black coffee's in it from time, but I'm saying when you talk about tribal, oh yeah, black coffee, Afro house, black coffee, but Fiddler's been in it since
Day dot.
2002. Yeah,
Day
like,
dot.
and I did an interview with him actually. Was it last year? And I was just sitting there thinking, and I thought because of how Afro House and Tribal House is now, obviously with Black Coffee, I was thinking to myself and speaking to him, and like, do you kind of feel kind of like robbed, because this was the scene that you were pushing when no one else was pushing it. And I was just touched by him because he was just like, he just loves the movement. And I thought, look, he could have turned that a whole different way. If I'm
Mm.
telling you this is the sound and you're airing me and you're like, all right, cool. He said he was going to raise. I said, look, we'll give you an hour because it's not really the scene. Like nobody really wants to hear tribal and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But these are the unsung heroes that just don't really, get their props. But
But do you know what? Yeah, and in that, this is one of the things I think all of us here probably talk about, but maybe we don't do enough. I think the whole reason for doing music is for newness and to discover. And these days, it's very hard to be the first to push sounds and break it and really say to people, yo, this is the thing. Because me personally, people are only now, I keep going on about Amapiano. I've been listening to Amapiano for a very, very long time. It's not new. It really is. In fact, you could date it back almost to when Funky was really doing the Afro kind of transition. When there was 1, 2 tracks coming out, which was really probably like do you remember a song Jesus Sounds Everything? I forgot what it's called.
Mm,
mm,
mm.
But it was a
yeah,
track
yeah,
like that. It
yeah.
was like
Marlon
dong
Diaz,
dong
was it?
dong dong
Yeah,
dong.
yeah, yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Had mad cowbells and stuff like that. When
yeah.
that sound was transitioning,
This is a
Amapiano actually
journey
had
into
started.
sound, right?
That's the
Yeah.
one. It had really transitioned then. And then you started hearing a bit more the early days of Black Coffee. And this is 2010 we're talking about.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
again,
That's yeah, yeah, yeah.
them times, nobody's really paying attention. But you got people like DJ Kent. You still got Boosie out there. You got Mamposa who's out there. You've got what are they called? Sound Boys or something like Sound Boy System out of all of South Africa, and you have Baraka Sound Sistema out of Angola. They all are that Amapiano sound, but you're talking about then. So, and I'm playing these sounds, and people are like, what are you listening to, man? Or what is this stuff?" And I'm like, "This is the sound." You can't be mad, especially these days, at being first and showing people the sound. You just have to appreciate that you knew that was going to be the next wave. And I think all of us here, we got some kind of duty because you do radio yourself. Us three are DJs. We've got some kind of duty of pushing the newness and actually continuing, like probably why we fell in love with it. Like we was all listening to
Yeah.
radio,
That's why I
two
said I enjoy
fingers,
radio
record
more.
and play, ready to record them tracks that we've never heard before. I think we owe that to the people
Yeah.
that we're trying to push this to.
I think, do you know what it is? I've spoken to Bounce before, and that's why I kind of we kind of decided to do that was a vibe because I'm old and gracefully old, and I tell you one thing, no, and the reason
I'm old.
I don't look it, but I am. But the thing is what I love, and I'm seeing myself turning into that person. Do you remember those Def Jam comedy videotapes or DVDs that are around 2003,
I ain't
2004?
scared of you, motherfucker.
Yeah, I ain't scared of exactly. God rest his soul. Steve Harvey and them guys doing this stuff. D.O. Hugh. And I remember when I think it was Steve Harvey had one skit. I mean, it wasn't even the funniest skit, but it was just when he had a little performance where he was just playing the old school soul music. And I used to look at him thinking, like,
What
what's
is
he on
this?
about? Why is he pushing this narrative? Like, he was like, listen, forget about what you're listening today. When I hear his track, and I remember just watching him, and he would drop track after track, and he'll just be lost. I'm that guy now. Like I'm
You
that
know
guy
it.
now. There's certain tracks that I just, I put on Life After Death the other day, and I was sitting there and I was listening to Notorious Thugs, and I'm like, that's where I need to be now. Don't get me wrong. I do radio on Beat
Jeez.
London. We
Oh,
get new
yes.
artists coming through.
With us. Hey.
We're doing the interviews. We're doing new artists coming through, and I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I want to see where the track is going. But I get it now. Like maybe I'm at that age. I just want to keep going back. It's mad, and I shouldn't really feel that way. You lot are DJs, so you're different. You're more forward thinking. But me, that's probably why I still want to go to nostalgic raves now. It's never been more important to me at my age now of nostalgia and old school stuff. Like now I really get it. Before I used to, now it's like, nah, I need to go back. I need to go back. And it's mad. Obviously, you guys are DJs and you've got your careers. You got to keep playing the latest thing or wanting to bust the new sound. But I don't know
Trust
how
me,
you
it's
guys
hard.
feel about that,
It's
man.
hard for a lot of us to drop the newness. I'm telling you, it's hard. That Dan says it all the time. He's just like, "Nah, I'm not gonna play this, bro. We're not running this today." He would just flat out say, I'm not playing this." But have you guys
No,
actually in saying that? Have you noticed that there's a lot of remixes of older tracks coming out these days?
All day,
Like
yeah.
all
one of
day.
my girlfriend's favorite songs right now is Fat Joe's Sunshine, which is sample of Luther
Oh,
Vandross's
okay.
Never Too Much, in it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the nostalgia in that track, like I like that track a lot because it's a nice fresh take on a classic. But there's so many. Like J. Cole's new album, from top to bottom, apart from Amari, samples so much classic hip hop.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, J. Cole's new project. So
I love
No, I'm not
SSM.
gonna lie. Like, what's it? When I
Yeah.
hear that, no, I feel like that Fat Joe tune. It just reminds me when I saw Fat Joe in New York, and it was for Spike Lee's block party. It's a random block party in the middle of Brooklyn, and then Fat Joe comes out and does All the Way Up, and I'll never forget it because I was on Do the Right Thing Way, and I remember Fat Joe wearing
Oh
the black
wow.
toe Jordan ones. Like, you know what? This guy actually
oh
knows
god.
about crep in it. Do you know what I mean? He knows about crep
Yeah,
in it.
he's got
So
some nah. He has got some heat. But it was interesting what you're saying, because me growing up, remember, like you had older people to me that I would listen to certain tracks and they were like, yeah, this has been looped, this has been sampled from this. And I just wanted to ask you guys, have you ever listened to a track from back in the day from a hip hop artist which, has used the sample, and you've actually gone back and listened to the original and
All the
actually
time.
thought, you know what, this is, because you know what, there's two tracks that stand out for me. Obviously, Big Popper. I don't even know why the artist name is gone for me. I can see Jericho right now. I'm thinking,
Didn't he sample Isley Brothers? Yeah, sample
dun, dun,
Isley Brothers.
dun,
Yeah, sample
dun,
Isley
dun.
Brothers in between
No,
the
no, no,
sheets.
no. Yes,
Yeah.
there you go.
It
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
Isley
yes.
Brothers in between the sheets.
Yeah.
That's one
And
of the
then
most
someone
sampled
else did it
tracks ever.
after. Someone else did it after because I've got the guy. Anyway, it all come up. And then again, going back to 2003, like, off the college pal, everybody had their favorite track. Two Words was one of my favorite tracks, but it was through the wire. But when I go back
Shaka
and I
Khan.
thought, oh, listen, through the fire, Shaka Khan, I thought,
Mm.
how? So I just wanted to ask you guys, because there's certain tracks I thought, oh my God, this is an amazing track. I went back to the original and I was like, nah, I can't really fuck with this. But you know what I mean? One on one, which are the tracks that you loved? Obviously, you loved the sample, and then when you actually listened to the original, it held itself up. Some originals are shit. That's why when it's sampled, it makes it good. You know
It
what I mean?
sounds
But
wicked, yeah.
yeah, but what about you guys? It'll be good as DJs. Look at me, I'm trying to get into interview mode because, but as DJs, like what, you know? What sort
I
of
mean,
Mine's
I
songs
could be
easy.
here
stand
for
out
a
to you
long
there?
time. Now, I could be here for a long time, so I'm only gonna pick two. For me, one of my favorite tunes at period is Ice Cube. Sample that is obviously the Isley Brothers between not between the sheets. It's the Isley Brothers.
Oh, bed something. I know what you mean. It was a good
Yeah,
day. Dun,
part
It was
one
a
dun,
and
good
two.
day.
Yeah,
dun,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Footsteps in the
yeah.
Dark, part one, part two. That's the Isley Brothers one, right? That
Yeah.
tune there, I've listened to it over and over and over again, and it's just that guitar bit. It's insane, absolutely insane. And then another sample of like that I love listening to is well, it's a guy called it's Samuel Jonathan Johnson, right? And he's got a tune called My Music, and took like literally bits of that to make J Kiss featuring South P's "We Gon' Make It."
Oh
Now it's
yeah. Dun, dun,
insane.
Oh.
dun, 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 dun,
Now
dun, dun, dun,
there,
dun.
yeah,
And it was
if you,
so slow. The original was
it was
so
so
slow.
exactly so slow. If you go on Twitter, right, and you see how Alchemist like literally he plays the song straight into the tune, bonkers. Bonkers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely bonkers. Yeah, but they're two I can think of at the top of the head.
Dan, what
Um.
about you, man? Or Goldfield, whoever's ready
Um,
to.
Go on then.
it's slow jams. Kanye
Okay.
West's slow
Oh yeah.
jams.
Oh.
Samples from Luther.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, slow jams. I'm not like you because I think slow jams itself, when you listen to it, like if you ever get a chance to just listen to the instrumental of slow jams with all
All
the
the time.
instruments and stuff, and then you pop the vocals on top. That's a really well put together song. Like
Come on, yay.
it's
Watching that.
There's nothing to watch it
Oh
for. You know what I
no
mean?
no no.
Yeah,
Yeah
like
no
bounce.
yeah.
Trying to be
You can't deny it,
controversial.
bro.
It's yay. Yeah, it's a yay. That's what I
Bro,
like.
it's like when you listen, if you ever get the chance to listen to that with some big headphones on, right? Listen to all of the instruments, the way that
Yeah.
like just listen to it, like take it in for a second.
Oh.
It's amazingly produced. Like that song is insane. Slow jams, and then you put the vocals on it. Take the rap out because it kind of ruins it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
But
yeah, 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 yeah.
put Jamie on it with the vocals and the sample that they took from the beginning as well. Um, yeah, it's dope as hell.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really dope. Like that song is dope, but it kind of I feel like he did well with that. He got away with that. I think there's a couple that he didn't get away with as much, but slow jams,
Oh,
I
from
think he
Colin. Yeah, 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 yeah.
absolutely nailed that song. Like I think he nailed it. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it.
Kofi.
Mine are easy. What's it called? I love Missy Elliott, Timberland. Like I said in a couple of streams ago, like I used to just sit and literally just listen to Timberland instrumentals from start to finish and just be okay, let's run that back. One of my favorites was Sock It To Me because the beat was
Okay.
crazy, but
Dun,
the sample,
dun, dun,
yeah,
dun,
dun, dun, dun,
Ready or
dun,
not,
and I
here
literally
I
was like,
come.
where's
You can
yeah, I was like,
have.
where do you get it? So that was Delphonics, Ready or Not. So obviously then it hits two because obviously everybody knows the Fugees Ready or Not was sampled obviously from that same track. And then you've
Yeah,
got what's it called? Sock It To Me. And then the
yeah.
other was I don't even know the name of the group, but I Really Mean It from Dipset gets me all the time.
Oh.
So when I hear dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun,
yeah.
dun.
Oh,
No, Major,
Major,
don't go.
don't
No,
go.
listen, I lose it every time. I'm
Dun,
gone
dun, dun, dun.
every single time in the dance. When I hear, dun, 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 I'm gone. It's a wrap.
Yeah. You
So
know what's
I don't
something
even know.
that
I forgot the sample. This
you know
ticket.
what's something you've pointed out because we've got up and coming episode coming this week, man. Check it out. It was a vibe, man. So we got because you just mentioned Missy and Timberland, man. So yeah, me about to laugh and we're thinking, yeah, okay, yeah, that we've got up and coming. But you just mentioned Timberland, and do you know what it is? And you mentioned this, Dan, about subcultures because I remember my dissertation was, is it Nelson George? I think he's an author from New York and he's a hip hop soul author, and we're talking about subcultures, and I'm one of those guys. Like I don't like things. Back in the day, I remember when Doggy Style came out, and I remember where if anything got onto Top of the Pops, I was so protective of it. I didn't want it to go on Top of the Pops. I didn't
Why?
want that because it was mine.
Because
Like I swear to God, like growing up, yeah, I didn't want like there's certain people in school. How do you know about that song? I mean, like,
Yeah, he was protective.
Listen,
He's one of them guys that was looking at other man like, bruv, you don't deserve that song. How do you know about
don't
that
even
song?
deserve
Like-
coming to me and telling me like, yeah, like no, I didn't. Like honestly, it used to drive me.
Man was
drive me
claiming
mad.
rhythms back in the day, you know, flipping.
No,
out.
like literally, like I just didn't want certain things. Wanted to keep it, subculture way. And I'll give it to Timberland when he started charging 1 million for a track, which I mean,
Astronomical.
yeah, boy, yeah.
But look back at his catalogue and say, yeah.
This
you
is
know
what. No, I agree. But he
5
went,
million, easy.
bro. He
Easy.
had that. He had that run where it was just mad, but it's just that like when I break it down and get past, all the bodybuilding, and it kind of went a bit weird for me with him. Like I just, but if I just, because I that's when I was like, all right, you're getting Nelly Furtado on there, and then you got just, I was like, look, we're going somewhere else. But even if I strip it down to the Aaliyah stuff, like if you listen to the beat for "We Need a Resolution," I mean. Again,
Yeah,
I
man.
can sit down with Timberland and just he's using animal sounds. You're getting elephant work. Like it's he maybe oh
Nah. I'm telling you, this is throwing me back to when I just listened. I sat down and listened to guys' instrumentals. Easy. I was
it's
just like,
dumb, innit?
what are you doing, G?
It's dumb. You know what's so
It is.
mad though? You see Big Pimpin'? That's not even one of my. Do you know what? That is actually, and you know me, I'm a whole fan. Like I'm really, really a whole fan. That is actually not one of my most loved tracks from Jay or the beat. Shoot
Really?
me. Yeah, from Timberland's beats, that's way down. From me personally, from what he's done.
Okay.
I like the track.
Okay, listen.
No, do you know what? I like
You as a
Jay's verse.
DJ,
It doesn't get,
as
yeah.
a DJ, when you're
Yeah.
mixing that in and the knock of dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
No, I can
in the
imagine it's
mix,
go to
in the mix
yeah.
is taking me. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. You know what time it is though. You know everybody's gonna lose it.
Hey, listen, is it just me? Yeah, and I got to ask the DJs directly. Do you geek out sometimes when you're about to do a mad mix? Like you heard it in your headphones, you're like, shit,
Yeah.
it's gonna go down. Like shit. Like, you're
all the
like,
time.
yo. And
You have to
people are
catch
looking
yourself
like,
in it before
this
you
is
mash it up.
crazy. But in my head, I'm like, you lot don't even know what's about to happen right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you don't even get it. I've heard
That's
the track coming through. And I'm like, hey.
Dad, that's hilarious that you say that because there's been times where I've just been listening to the tune, concentrate, I'm just here just bopping because I just doing this. Like, I mean,
Bopping head,
and I
like-
realized I was and I look out and I realize, oh shit, I've just let 3 minutes of the track just ride out. So I better bring this thing down. Do you know what I mean? There's been times that has happened. There's been times it's happened. Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, sorry.
I jumped in, but because I just had to. When you say that, for me, Big Pimp is one of them tracks. Yeah, in a mix, you just hear it
It's
coming
just-
through. It's just
See,
knocky.
you know what's so weird about it as well, and Dan, you hit the nail on the head today. I am a subculture guy. You see when Jay got with Beyonce, I stopped listening to Jay. I swear,
Hey, bro, that's petty, bro. That is
No,
petty.
listen.
very honestly, I was like, nah. Money, cash, hoes. This is the Jay I want. What is this?
Dum,
Why am
dum,
I?
dum.
Why are
Dum,
you taking
dum,
me
dum.
to? Yeah, you're taking me to Bonnie and Clyde all free. Nah. Cut out.
Bonnie and
cut,
Clyde and like
cut,
Ding,
cut.
ding, ding, ding.
Bring
And
me
bro,
back.
Ding,
Bring me
ding,
back.
ding,
Oh.
ding, ding, ding.
I'm talking
Look
about
for
like,
me.
even street.
It's
look,
alright.
street-
It worked for
bro,
the time.
No.
It did. Listen, there's a couple dances and the DJs
Deja
dropped
vu and
that song
it was
there.
getting bad though.
It
Deja
works,
vu and then it just kept going. Oh, I was like, look, do you know what, Jay? I'm cashing out. Like
No, to
I
be
know
fair,
you.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you said that because I had the exact same thing with Ludacris. Ludacris is one of my favorite rappers, right? Until he started
Oh,
doing "Runaway Love." Yeah, I love
Oh
Bum.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
No, it's
Bum.
no,
true.
I had to catch it. Don't
I
get me
love.
wrong. Listen, Jay and Beyonce, phenomenal. Beyonce, phenomenal. But it's weird when you're talking about subcultures and people do grow, and I get that they grow. But for me, Jay, listen, I'm there listening to Imaginary Player. Like that's my Jay. Like I listen to
Mm.
dun dun dun. I'm listening to
Mm.
Imaginary Player. This is my Jay now. And
Mm.
then when I'm seeing old three Bonnie and Clyde, and then I got Deja Vu and I had to cash out, man. I had to cash out quickly.
Listen,
Yeah,
those are nice warm-up tracks, man. Those are nice warm-up tracks. Don't
Oh,
worry.
I'm not coming. I'm not coming. Let me stay at home. Support you, man, from home. I don't know what to look.
Do you know what? But do you want to know something? Yeah, you named those two tracks. Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
do you know why I'll definitely play those two tracks? Because Bonnie and Clyde, oh 03 Bonnie and Clyde, the gal are on the floor. They're
Really?
honestly picturing themselves. They're on the floor.
They're not my
For me,
sort
and
of
then the
girls,
girl
man.
just starts singing the
Man said they're
Beyonce
not my
track and
sort
all
of
of this
girls.
stuff. And then next thing you slap them with the blue Cantrell. Listen, they're all
Oh
yours,
my God.
bro.
Do you know
They're
what's so
all yours.
crazy?
They're
I don't know
all
if bouncers
yours, bro.
realize this literally is my nightmare. like,
Yeah.
that is what, yeah, as DJs, I get it. That's why I rate you guys,
It's our
because
job.
yeah, it's your job. But that there is like that's Halloween for me. Because yeah, those nah. Because you know what? I listened to Opie, Bonnie and Clyde. That's me and my girlfriend, man. That's Machiavelli the Don out. Like what? That
Mm.
come on. If you were really there, then Like, listen, when the double CD from Puck come out, Lies on Me. Yeah, we look at it now as a body of work, and you think, but forget the body of work. It's just the marketing. It's the fact that
Mm.
we've got a first double CD. I remember,
CD.
Ambitions of a Rider. I put that in first. I thought I got
I
two
won't
CDs. Do
deny
you know
it.
how
I'm a straight
I'm a
rider.
straight
You
rider?
don't wanna fuck
Doom,
with
doom,
me.
doom, 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 doom. So I
Do-do-do.
thought, okay, cool. He passes away. God rest his soul. He's coming out with Machiavelli, the Seventh Day Theory. I've got me and my girlfriend on there. At the beginning, do you remember if you
Yeah.
guys, let me see if you guys know your hip hop? Because I remember at the beginning, you've heard it all. It could have been, I don't know what was said, but Shug shocked me. Do you remember this? Or I'm telling you what happened.
Who?
Right at the beginning, Shug shocked me. But nothing,
Oh, I didn't remember
nobody
that.
actually, you see?
Yeah.
No, do you remember that rumor? And I remember
Yeah.
everybody,
Also, I do remember it. Yeah.
Hail Mary. So for me, when me and my girlfriend was one of my best, tracks there, because he's obviously talking about the gun. People are
Hmm.
thinking at the time, he's got his girl, like
Okay.
the last verse, yeah, I love finger fucking you. All of a sudden I'm here. So for me, I'm like, yeah. Then when I heard Jay, I just thought it was just disrespectful. I literally just thought it was like him jumping on Juicy. I just thought, so that's why for me, yeah, I have to cancel it. And if you guys are gonna play it, just start off the rave and then I'll come after and support you. But I
I was
can't.
gonna say that. Come mid rave, bro. Come mid rave.
Yeah, for real.
There's
Yeah.
certain songs that DJs throw in there to get the crowd ready, man. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. You swallow
what it is.
you bite the bullet, bruv.
You
What
know,
happened to
one
all this stuff taking us on a journey? I knew you guys were gassing me, I'm sitting here with the DJs and I'm sitting there thinking, nah, these guys are different. And now
no,
look,
listen,
you know what I mean? And I went
you
in.
got to figure out who's in the dance. There's certain dances that I'll go through. Like
Yeah.
there's events where I can't not play Aaliyah Rock the Boat. I can't not play it.
Bang.
And there's
Do you want to know what though? That's a very personal preference. I played that on Saturday.
I don't give a toss. I'm playing that everywhere. Like I don't give a toss.
It's a banger.
Listen, if I can get away with it, I'm sneaking it in. It's just the way it comes in.
Dun.
And then
It's a
man.
banger.
And
Okay,
then
what's the worst tracks then? Because listen, I
Jayquan
haven't heard.
Tipsy. Bruv, I will
Oh,
slap
thank
you
God.
and your
Thank
friends and everyone with you. I don't care.
My
Listen,
worst tracks.
I play it on request, innit? I have it there. I play it on
Oh,
request,
I
but
can't
it's
fuck
not
with it.
active. It's not active. I'll put
I
out there.
can't
It's
fuck
not
with it.
active.
This
Bounce
is what
plays it. I know
Applebum
he does.
wants. I went to Apple Bum once and Bounce was playing, and when he dropped Iggy Azalea, I'm So Fancy, I just thought, you know what? Yeah,
I don't
that
know if
is
that was my set to be fair.
Bounce.
Like,
You dropped
I
Iggy
don't know if that was
Azalea,
my
I'm
set.
So
No, no,
Fancy.
no.
These
I
two
was
are
like,
really
No, that wasn't my
nah.
set.
No,
No,
I was
was
like,
that
you know what?
was that the
This
same
guy
night?
better buy me a drink. Yeah, because
No, listen,
he's get,
was that the same night that you were outside and obviously I didn't see you for like a good 5 minutes and then you called me when I came outside, your hands was in extra trying to get in because it was raining. Was it that night or was it another night that, you know what I mean?
to be fair, you know what? You were right. It was raining because remember you told me, don't worry, I can get everybody in, and then obviously you got told off by the bouncer and said, look, you only allowed one more person in, so you nearly embarrassed me in front of them girls. But the thing is that it was just the Iggy Azalea fancy. Bounce, why did you do it, man? I just,
Do you know
and I think there was a ghetto
I don't know.
superstar in
That's
there as
not me.
well.
Here we go.
again? I would
That,
play that because it's the
Oh,
crowd,
Kofi, no,
bruv. It's the
forget that
crowd.
crowd.
No, do you know what it is though? Yeah, our job is to build the crowd. How I see it, you build the crowd evenly. Like if you get everybody to a certain, if you play a bit of things for everybody, everybody gets to a certain stage. Then, for example, when you play a tune that everybody knows, like a Juicy, everybody's on such a vibe. Like they're on your side, they're riding with you. So you have, for me anyway, how I look at it, you have to build people. I know, like I don't like the song. People, there's only one artist I never have in my playlist, and that's Jason Derulo. I refuse. That's the only
You
person
know
I
what? Only
actually
you only
flat
had
out
that Jason
refuse.
Derulo trim when I first met you, to be fair. So that's what I think when I first don't try. I should bring up the pictures on here. Oh, I remember.
You know what?
Which
Like
Jason Derulo? What one is it? What one is it, Kofi? What track is that?
Bruv, there's no Jason Derulo track in my playlist. There's none. Even
because
Wiggle.
that swallows a banger though. That swallows a bit of
Wiggle.
a banger. It hits.
I
It
don't,
is
bruv, I don't
that
like the
Jason
guy.
Derulo swallows it like it bangs. It kind of bangs.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
okay.
I'm putting
Not me.
out there.
you know what? Remember when I was saying at the start that that's the kind of stuff that I refuse to play at now.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit I'm talking about. I'm not
What,
fucking
Jason Derulo?
Yeah, I'm not fucking playing no swallow. Like, not playing it.
Look at the
Like, I
test.
tell you why.
Look at
I
the
tell you
test.
why. I tell you why.
Bounce.
It's
Look at
because
me
I,
snobs.
Pause.
Look at me
I'll tell you
snobs.
I was in a position where I was like, I did too many of those events, right? And now I'm like, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. I spent the whole of lockdown. Like, actually, you know what? Nah, like, let me listen back to some shit. I would absolutely love if I can go into a dance and the first song I play is that Jay-Z song we just spoke about.
What one? The
Which one?
03.
Money Cash.
Oh.
Oh,
If I could just start off like just
family.
Bow.
Listen, I'm telling you,
I'm
when
off.
when this
that-
90s
that-
was naughty rave happens,
going
you
from
can
there.
do that.
And it's just like that's where I'm going. Everything that
Fam?
I'm playing.
Air mix
is
and
in,
my
like,
dog's bite. Jigger, my
Listen.
nigga, Rambo, night, fuck, like, oh my.
If I can
Bro,
get some
Fam,
bossa
I
every
told
week
you.
I'll
yeah,
go.
like all of that
Every
kind of
week I'll
stuff,
go.
I'm cool. Because the thing is, and I'm not saying like I don't want to do the commercial bits and that, but I feel like I had a space where I did way too many of them. And I now kind of just like listening back to the music, I'm like, oh, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because every time, like, well, that Jason Derulo song, even though like as a DJ you can appreciate it a little bit, at the same time I'm just like, oh man, nah, like I'm not really, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really trying to do
Yeah, it's
that.
kind of no. I'll be honest. It's kind of a dead track. But to be fair, like there is one tune that I'm gonna like just drop here before we leave in it. That I am gonna run and cut my sets because I've got like a 2000s playlist, like 99 to 2000s playlist that I'm just taking off. And that Miss Jade, I don't know if you ever listened to Miss
Which
Jade.
one? Feel the girl.
Feel the Girl. Yo, that beat there, like no better. I know you weren't really into rap at the time, innit? But like, yeah, that Miss Jade, you know what I mean? like,
Listen, after you said you
You know what the
played
girl,
Jason Derulo Swallow, pause. I don't think whatever you're playing, if I'm not listening to it, I'm all good.
Bro, listen, it was just a time where that song was just like, it's them party songs. After a while, you get, especially if you do sort of like residencies as a DJ, you're gonna have to. You don't have a choice. Like it's like when I say you don't have a choice, because you do still have a choice, but 9 times out of 10, someone's going to request it anyway. So you might as well.
Blue Cantrell, Kill Me. No Diggity, Kill Me.
Oh, they all get spun. They get
Fat Man
spun.
Scoop. Fat Man Scoop.
Spun.
Kill Me.
Spun.
What's that Faith Evans one? I think that's the same one.
Love Like This.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's good. That's a track, that one, but
what, the original or the Fat Man Scoop version?
Oh, bro, both.
But the bear, I remember when you actually came to the Applebum and you asked me to play Mario Winans. Like, I don't want to know. I mean, like, listen, why did you request that tune in the middle of a bashment set? And I like, what you say, like.
Listen,
that is an outing. That is an outing, bruv. He outed that one, bruv.
Look, I think because of the Jason Derulo swallow, you know what I mean, he's getting a bit salty. But listen, look, at Applebum, look, I didn't press anything. Real with you though, and I love the movement. I'm gonna come out again. But I've never felt safer in the hip hop and R&B, and that's the one thing, you know, when you go to hip hop and R&B. Look, when I was there at Punana, there's a risk there. There's a risk factor. You know, you're like, do you know what?
It's part of the culture almost,
bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's culture now. You're thinking, okay, if they play Onyx Slam, boy, it can get a bit serious in here. Applebum, listen, I'm good, man. I've got Bacardi Breezer. I've got obviously Johnny from Warwickshire. And I've got another snotty nose guy. It's the calmest I've ever had in my life.
This guy's
you know what I mean? Like, you know, they play niggas in Paris and everybody's looking around if they're allowed to say it. Say it, man. Don't worry, man. That's the safest hip hop. No, nothing. If you go to Apple and get robbed or stabbed, geez, you know what? You have to be Daniel LaRusso because look, you are good.
Oh
there.
my god!
Yeah, it's the same place. So
that's so bad.
It is, but it's a good event, man. I know you guys.
Listen, Applebum's wicked. I don't care what you say. Applebum's wicked.
No, it's a good. Listen, it's a good. I wanna go down there.
We do
Bounce is running it now, so I'll roll in it. So let's see. Bounce, you're running it. You said you're the main guy there now, so I'm gonna take you.
I've never once said that. I've never once said that. Well, anyway.
They're not in here. Look, these guys are here, man. Look, Dandy, not here, man. Don't
Problems.
God.
You know what? Like the other day when obviously everybody did the cliche thing of doing like a DMX tribute. I did one on my show, but I only ran about four songs. And one of the songs I ran was Top Shotter. And I personally think that song gets
banger. Here comes the boom.
Here comes the boom. You can't get any better, bruv. Like, and I'm just like, the way he just rolls in on that track, he just out of nowhere, he's slick. It's just slick. Yeah. What you don't see with these new age people is that slickness, that dope shit where guys just start riding and you're like, ooh, you know what I mean? You don't see that no more. And that's what I feel is missing from music, and that's what I will pay big money for. I don't even care too much about actually DJing at this event, right? Because I'm a lover of music. It doesn't bother me. So it's like, if someone's doing an event where we can just all of that, right? And that's the kind of vibe where you can play some.
It's coming soon.
Where you play some, what do you call it? The guys with Dipset. Dipset is in this dance. I'm in this dance.
Dan,
I
told you.
Me, I'm in this dance. I'm at the back with my rare nephew and lemonade.
What did I say? Bounce. What did I say?
July 23rd.
What did I say?
I'm there, bro. Listen, and I'm bringing man them and gal them and everyone. Like, you know what I mean?
Listen,
July 23rd.
I'm inviting all of my people. Like, yo, listen. Here comes the boom. Watch the dance. Or Buster, put your hands through my eyes to see. I'm gone. I'm gone.
So can you see why? We've got to keep that energy. That's the energy I want. That there is the energy. But you talk about DMX though, and you're talking about when he comes on. But one of my best DMX. Listen, I can't say one of my best, but there's so many. But what I liked is DMX for me kind of introduced the schizophrenic MC, because stop being greedy. Like how are you two people on the like what the hell is going on? Yeah, when you listen to it, you're like, this guy is just different. Look, he's just different. And we said this when we did a tribute on That Was a Vibe. not getting people like that no more, man.
No,
Like
no,
honestly,
no.
you're not getting people that are
Yeah.
saying, "Nah, I'm going against the grain." Like you look at X, he came in at that time, what 97, 98. I mean, the album already. What the hell's going on? It's dark and hell is hot. I'm thinking, what sort of demonic film
What
is
kind
this?
of demon is this? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm listening to Damien. I'm hearing the voice. It's like this guy's hearing voices in his head. You know, the guy's a loner. The guy's now promoting dogs at this, but like, you can't even make it up anymore. Like, honestly, like, you just don't get that anymore. It's the same uniform now. Well, yeah, this okay. This guy's coming from here. This is the backstory. I think that backstory's gone now. As DJ, have you noticed that rapper
Yeah.
now? The backstory's gone. You know, we've got Jay-Z,
There's a
the
few of
Brooklyn
them. You got the
Hustler.
baby, who literally was like promoting himself by wearing nappies all over the place.
No, but look. Look, this is. Do you know what?
No, you know what? Give them a chance. Some of these young boys, give them a chance.
No.
They don't
Some of
care,
them.
bruv.
No, some of them. I'm
Some
not
of
saying
them, give them a
all.
chance.
I'm not saying
Oh,
all. Come
God.
Some
on,
of
because I'm
it's
not
BS,
writing off
and
music.
we know it is, and we're allowed to. I'll tell you why we're allowed to say that, because we're all over a certain age, and we have listened to music, right? And obviously, we may have a few bias, but at the end of the day, like, we're listening to music, what it is now, how it's been produced, and we're listening to music how it was back then with producers like Timbaland, who used to spend hours and hours perfecting shit, where everybody's kind of just, it's like a production line for stuff now. So we're allowed to then be like, you know what? No, some of this shit is crap. Some of it is good. Like, we're in a position to. I feel after you get to a certain age and you've been in the music industry, or you've been listening to music quite well. Some people aren't even DJs; they just got like ridiculous music knowledge. They have the right, because they've dedicated a large amount of their time listening to music. So say it with your chest. It's pants, and it is what it is, isn't it?
The baby
Like,
literally was, bro.
Do you know what's crazy that you look? Because you look this. That's why I love this today, because I can speak to real DJs. And I was talking to Bounce about it the other day, and yeah, I mean, with music nowadays, look, you know, you can't just say, you know, all rap is dead at the moment and stuff. That's ridiculous, because you've got some fantastic artists that are coming out. But
Like
lyrically,
who?
you see, now he's putting me on the spot.
No, precisely. If I rewound this and I asked you back in 1999, upcoming artists or artists who bang now, you could easily name 10.
Oh
Not
yeah,
even-
yeah.
not
No,
even
but that
flinch.
was I think that's the golden era that way.
No,
There. I
but
think
then, but the people from the late 80s will say, nah, that was getting towards trash when it was, because we're running back, what, 10, 15 years. We're talking about this is the Fabulous times. This is the Nelly times.
yeah.
Oh,
But
the Fabulous
is
is
a cold
good.
MC. Don't get
Fabulous is good, but they
don't worry
really
about
wouldn't give
that.
him that much props. They wouldn't give him that much props. Nelly, okay. That's when it start getting this buttercake, whatever pop rap. Jaquan's coming out. Flipping all these kind of, I call them meme rappers now anyway, we're all just starting to bubble around 15.
Yeah.
But you can still name them. That's how bad music is now. Like, if you were to say, name 5 rappers you would comfortably listen to now, you'll struggle.
What now? What? Oh, what just come out or just
of the
Just
new
coming out.
Nick
generation.
Grant.
Just coming out.
Generation.
Who? Go on, Bounce.
Nobere, Esmino, Duckworth, Brockhampton, and I mean, there's a few. There's JID, the JID. There's loads.
See,
There's loads.
I have no idea
Like,
who any of these guys are. Yeah,
But that's the
I'm
thing.
talking
Like,
about
what's it? If you're passionate about it, you will go out and find it. Just like in the early 2000s or the late 90s. Like, there's a lot of people that are now rediscovering like Master Ace or the I album or bloody or Little Brother. Like, you know, like I know myself in
LB business.
do you know what I mean? If you want to find it, it is actually there.
But you
I
know
guess
what it is,
now
but
it's
I
just
think,
even easier to find it.
I think you're right about when you're talking about going back, but I'm just talking about lyricism, because I've literally listened to a few. I'm not even going to call them music connoisseurs, because it's the ear of today. What Dan has just said is quite poignant, and I said it at the beginning of this, that you got to allow people with their age and, you know, their limited
I'm
time
still here,
listening to
guys. I'll be back
music.
in a sec.
Yeah, what they find impressive, because sometimes I'm listening to shows and someone's stopping the track and they're reversing the lines to me, and I'm like, huh? Like, what? You paused it and stopped it for that. Like, what do you want me to see here? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to show me here? Because I'm just hearing the most basest, bland lyrics, lazy, and they're stopping it and saying, yo, did you hear what man just said? And I'm like, it's gone over your head. You've missed it. And I'm like, bro, I haven't missed it. Like, I really haven't. Let me give you 36 Chambers, the Wu-Tang album, and just take that and then come back to me and then tell me have I missed. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Because, it's
No,
yeah, so mad.
definitely.
It's,
That was definitely. Yeah, definitely. I hear what you're saying, but I just think we have to appreciate that, like, there is a new age now, innit? Do you know what I mean? And one thing I don't want to be is a music snob, innit? Because I know that, like, I realize the older that we get, like, you know how we like, I don't know if there's any alcohol. You taste a good fine wine, and you know you're able to afford it. You're gonna buy more of that fine wine, and you're not gonna go. But then sometimes, if their entry point is Migos or Lil Guys or whoever else is out there. You know what I mean? That's their entry point, and it's a good
I like
thing.
the
I
Culture
think we have
album,
to
though. I like the Culture
appreciate.
album, though.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of the Migos. I'm a massive fan of theirs,
Are you?
but I just think that 100%. I've seen them a few times. But I
What
think
do you
we just
like
need to
about them,
appreciate
though?
what I like about them. I think for me, the Culture One album was an
Yeah, no,
incredible album.
I
I think
agree.
it
Yeah,
was
I
just
like, yeah.
14 tracks consistent. That's all you needed. Like, it was a very, very good
Lyrically, though,
album. Like,
are you impressed?
I mean, lyrically, there's nothing there. Obviously, it's not like
no,
there's nothing there for me. However, when you
no.
like, but then Migos aren't lyrical rappers. Like, they're not, like, that's
Can you
not their
imagine that, though,
brand.
bro? Can you imagine what we're talking about now? Could you imagine saying that from 98 to, I know we had a bit of a trashy, weird 2000 stage where everything was just ice and baby blue. It was just trash. But let's just go back to like 2003 to now 2011. Can you imagine if you said, yeah, this rapper, yeah, lyrically they're dead, but
But yeah, we're talking like that
who?
never existed, didn't we? Like back in the day. Don't you remember when you used to have all of these like party house tunes, or party hip hop songs, like bloody Whoop,
Jaquan's
there it is,
trash.
like, do you know what I'm saying?
No,
It
not for
never
me though.
existed.
No, it
Now,
existed, but it was trash. You called it
no,
what it
come on
was.
now. There was a Whoop, there it is was a party track, and that's what it was designed for. Fat Man Scoop's tune was a track that it was designed to get the party jumping. Whereas when it comes to lyricism, it's a different brand of hip hop, and I think that's fine. I think it's okay for us. That hip hop is not just one thing. It's not just a boom bap, New York premiere, boom. That's it. It's different strands. Like that's
No,
why
it can
that's
be.
why I've
No, I
always
agree.
appreciated. Do you know what I mean? That's why I've appreciated different rap from in different languages now, whether it be from the French rap to the UK stuff to, you know what I mean? There's different strands of it, and it's good for us to to have that concept, to see that there's that hip hop is not just one thing where it always have to come from New York. Because I'll be honest, I think that actually hindered the game. Like when it was just East and West, people totally forgot about like the 3 6 Mafia and the Outcast. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's good that we have that wide spectrum, and long may it continue, because we wouldn't have a Drake if it wasn't for that. In all
Yeah,
honesty,
Well, yeah, well,
he won artist of the decade the other day. Did you see that?
yeah, yeah,
well deserved, to be honest. Well deserved.
yeah. I think. Listen, look.
I
At the
think
end of the
so.
day,
I
yeah,
think
I
so.
think. Well, I think him and
He's done well,
Beyonce.
man. He's done really
I think
well.
it. For me, I think it's him. I think it. Yeah, him and Beyonce for me. Um, Artist of the decade, but no, yeah, phenomenal. But you're saying that, but again, you said you got 3 6 Mafia. What is your classic 3 6 Mafia album
Well,
that
look,
you actually listen to?
I can't talk
So
about 3 6 Mafia's albums. However, though, they did have tunes like, Pop in My scholar, you know,
No,
too hard to.
okay, but when you talk about new, because this is the thing. Listen, 3 6 Mafia, you know, Fly or Die, you know, I love that track, but let's stay fly. But what I'm saying is that what Kofi was saying at the beginning is that you're saying I love the Migos, and listen, I like the Culture album, but you don't really love the Migos. And let's get even deeper into this. Sometimes I feel I'm lucky to a certain extent because on my show, I speak to artists, but it's also a talk show. I kind of feel that a lot of DJs that are on radio that you have to talk or interview, I feel that you have to be very careful about what you like and what you don't like now. And I see kind of people, okay, one of the other ones that is always gets, you know, certain rappers through the door is, yeah, this bangs in the club. Is he a good rapper though? Is it a well produced album? Because you've told me about 3 6 Mafia. I told you, name me a classic album from 3 6 Mafia. If I told you SNOOP, Nas, Jay, Wu-Tang, you would tell me the album. You wouldn't even waste time with me. Like you would say, listen, I'm telling you the 36 Chambers or you know, Wu-Tang Forever or you know, Illmatic, or it has to be Stillmatic added on in there, or it has to be Reasonable Doubt, or it has to be All Eyes on Me. Or you would tell me the album, but you're telling me if it wasn't, you know, for if it was for New York and the West. Talk to me about the classic albums. Outkast, I'll give you that. But
Well, let's be yeah, fair enough. But then let's be brutally honest here. In the 90s, right? In that era that you're mentioning, where it was the 92 to 98 or whatever, there wasn't that many rap albums, like 3 or 4 big albums that were coming out from the rap scene. And then, yeah, it's facts. Like, what's it?
So we had
let's be honest about
we've
it.
had Illmatic. We've okay, hold
Yeah,
on. We've had Ready to
Illmatic
Die, Illmatic, The Chronic, Doggy Style.
Chronic came out too.
But you said 92, didn't you? You said 92. I'm naming. Yeah. So you got Chronic, you got Doggy Style, you got Ready to Die, you got is Illmatic. You have sorry, I said Ready to Die 95. You had the 36 Chambers. You had, when did Takao come out? 95. Now you're moving on to 95. 95. You've got when did Tupacalypse Now come out? That's your favorite Tupac album, you said.
Oh snap,
bro! Are you?
That was a night.
You must be smoking some. You must be smoking some mad. What are you talking about? The lies, bro.
Then fine. But then if you compare it to the amount of albums that came out in the 2010s, like these are proper albums. Obviously, yeah, Take Care, Damn, Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly, your favorite, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, Yeezus, Vince Staples joined, Joe Badass. Like the list goes on. Like Chance the Rapper, like the list goes on. Like
how many of those are standing up? How many of those are standing up to the albums from 92 onwards? I'm not saying that there's one, but how many are really standing up to that?
I've just named can stand up neck and what's it like back to back with those classics that you've just mentioned.
Which is standing up to Illmatic though?
You're telling me My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
No. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You know I'm a Kanye
fan. Are you anti Kanye West?
Bro, he pretends to be anti Kanye West, but listen, Kanye West's DJ now made him come in his pants, so he's giving him confidence having this standing next to him. The guy is wearing Yeezys for fun. Like, look, Bounce I tell you what we like to do. I'll be honest with you. We like to piss each other off, as you notice, and we have triggers. My trigger, I love Drake, but I know because Bounce is a stan, if I say something negative, I'm going to get a reaction. Bounce, I've known him for nearly 10 years. He's my boy and I love him. He knows if there's anything wrong with Kanye, if I just want to get Nobere, I'm just going to say. So I'm just ignoring it. You man can take it in. He's just, what he's doing is just,
he's just prodding.
That's all it is.
But I'm
Now.
out. Well, but what did I say that was incorrect? Also, does Illmatic not stand next to
Illmatic take care.
my
Illmatic
beautiful
take
Doctor's
care.
Fantasy?
Illmatic can take care.
Now he wants to pick and choose. See, this is the thing in it. See,
Hold up.
this is the thing in it, right? Like, go on.
Sorry, 1 second. So, while you guys were talking, I literally just dipped into it to see 94 rap albums released in 1994. Yeah, there were a lot. Obviously, a lot of unknown artists, but some very young groups. For example, Fugees, I think, released their first album in 94 called
Yeah.
Blunted on Reality. Beastie Boys are still going strong around there. They released an album,
Mm-hmm.
Same Old Bullshit. 36 Mafia, they were actually going by 666 Mafia then, released an album in 1994. Early Gangstar released an album in 94. Obviously Nas. Cool G Rap was still about. MOP released their very first album in 94 as well.
I think that's Full Gun Blaze was that 96 with Jay-Z. Maybe that was the second one,
Who?
actually, but yeah.
MOP.
Yeah.
They released To the Death was the name of the album. Outkast was in 94 with Southern Players, whatever.
Southern
Playlist, they kind of
94.
like music, yeah.
Yeah, that was 94. I had no idea. You had 8 Ball MJG on the outside looking in, obviously first coming out the south. Yeah,
There's a lot of moonwalking going on. A lot of moonwalking from Bounce now. You're gonna stand by what you see. You're gonna fall on your sword, man. You
had MC Breed in that year. Funkified. Warren G. Regulate G Funk Era was 94. Single-handedly brought Def Jam back to life. 94. Bone Thugs and Harmony creeping on the come up. The Beat Nuts Street Level. The Brat. Again, Big Mike, House of Pain. Actually, take out House of Pain, whatever.
House of Pain was your first
Bismarcky.
rap album in it, though, Bounce. House of Pain was your first hip hop album.
No,
Guy.
no, it wasn't, to be fair. It wasn't, to be fair.
Or was it?
It was.
Good try, though, but it wasn't. But look, anyway, the point was like the point.
You have so many. Ready to Die even came out 94, bro.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, okay,
like,
fine.
Honestly,
look. You give it, you're reading albums here, but like when we think of the ones that's worth remembering, in it, yeah, we're thinking about the classic, a few classics for you, and they stand neck and neck. Yeah, I've named a few classics. Like what's it over the last 2010 era? You know what I mean? Like, and they stand neck and neck with some of the albums that come out in the 90s. Let's be honest, man. You know what I mean, and it's just gonna happen like that, coming out. And there's
how many Drake albums? How many Drake albums stand neck and neck? Because you keep talking about Take Care. That's your go-to card. Let's put that to the side.
I think Take Care is a phenomenal album. I think it's a culture. I think it's a culture shifting album. Personally, my honest opinion. Say it won a Grammy, didn't it? Like, what more is there left to say?
No, but you told me that Grammy doesn't mean anything when Kanye's picked up one of the Oscars. You can't talk to.
Grammys don't really.
Oh, that it don't mean.
Grammys don't mean much. It doesn't mean. You know what I mean? But look, like I said, look, credit to those old school artists and the 90s. But this is a new era. I think us as older statesmen in the game, we just need to be more open-minded and be open-eared and see what because there was actually a lot of good music out there, man. I think today there's some Esmino, Duckworth, like there's some good bits out there, and it'll be a shame if we actually missed it just for being music snobs.
I don't doubt that there is a lot of good music. Again, hence I wouldn't start Levels if I didn't think there was good music out there and try to push it so hard. However,
Absolutely.
I think the conversation, I think Dan, you said it last week, is when do you have to start being good again to achieve in music? He said something along those lines. And the point is, there's a lot of people who are just very mediocre. Like all the artists,
I agree.
All the artists that were named before, like the 94 album, they actually weren't mediocre. None of them. Like the brat back then is Cardi B now. No offense, if you're listening, if you actually listen to what any of them are speaking, you're taking the brat all day over any day over Cardi B.
I don't care what
I
you
would.
like. It's still a banger, and I'm still dropping that every set. I don't give a toss.
Who?
What one? What, the brat or?
What you
Cardi.
like?
Oh yeah. What do you
Oh,
like?
well, okay.
Hold on a
Yeah,
foot plane right before
With
you do it.
Tyrese. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
classic for me,
yeah,
boy.
But
Remember that.
that's what I think the point is. It's like when do we cut the mediocrity? Like the people you're
It's,
naming are probably like I probably need to look into them. I always say to Mason when people ask me who's my top 5 rappers, one person I always name is Fonte. Fonte out of Little
Yeah,
Brother,
Fonte's dope.
cold for me, one of the coldest lyricists. Period. Like I
Yeah,
don't
he's
care.
dope. He's dope.
There's very few that beat him. I'm even
Yeah, I'm not
throwing
gonna
Jay Z
argue that.
to beat him. That's how far I'm gonna go with that. And it's
Yeah, I'm
just
not
like
gonna argue that.
that he's very good. And I discovered Drake way back in 2006, 2004, something like that, when he was on Little Brother's Minstrel Show. No, was it Minstrel Show? He wasn't on Minstrel
No,
Show. Sorry,
no.
he released
No,
Comeback
it was
Season.
yeah, on comeback season, and little brother did a tune with him on comeback season. It was
Yeah, was it with Dwele? Don't you
I
have a
forget the
man
name
in
of the
it?
tune, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't you have a man with Dwele, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Them times I was listening to Drake thinking this guy is on some smoke. And honestly, as I listen to Drake grow throughout the years, I actually think he's regressed in his talents. Because Drake then
oh,
was
wow.
a mad lyricist. Like I was listening to Drake saying, yeah, okay, this guy is about something. Jay Electronica, I heard through Little Brother as well, the links through Little Brother. J. Cole, I heard through the links of Little Brother as well. So these are some dope lyricists. And again, it's when does the mediocrity stop and the real cream of the crop start rising? I think that is
I think,
probably the point.
right,
yeah, I think you're right about the cream. I think you're right. I think the cream of the crop always rise. Like, there's no two ways about that. I think there was quite a bit of a trashy time again with the J Quans and of hip hop. But look, I remember hip hop is the most listened to music right now out there. But when it came, there's two artists for me that always give me hope in terms of to say, listen, the cream will always rise, and these guys' albums will always be respected. And it's J Cole and what's his
Kendrick.
name, Kendrick. I mean, look, there's no frills and spills. There's no pouring champagne. There's no trying to, it literally, it sells, and it shows you that, look, it's not dead. People say, oh, hip hop is dead and stuff. Like those two for me, I just look at it and think, you know what, we still got some good people with some good hip hop ears out there.
Mm.
And it just goes to show there's no gimmicks. There's no, like, for me, it's just literally like, yeah, they're actually making music that actually means something. And it doesn't mean that music always has to mean something. Like, don't get me wrong, some people don't
Just
really
want to
want
make
to listen
party
to
music.
music for
They
that.
want to
Yeah,
sing
and
about
there's
bums
nothing
and
for that.
boobs.
Or okay, what's the next sound? Let me jump on it. Yeah, let me just try to stay relevant. That's fine. But with them two, and I'm not saying they're my favorite rappers, but I always just think to myself, rare, they do some good numbers. They're picking up their awards, and it's good to see, man. It is good to see that people are thinking outside of the box with that one.
Okay, let me throw this to all of you. One word, no, not one word, one sentence. What do you guys think of Little Nas X?
Reminds me of Oni when he gives too much. That was for the Kanye comment, Bounce. That was for the. That was how dare you ask me between Illmatic
See,
and
and this is
people that
this is what I'm saying. This is like it's like artists like Little Nas X that just makes me just think, you know what, fuck that shit. Like I'm done out here with that. I ain't playing that shit no more.
you know what, when you see Little Nas X, and Dan, I'm with you. You see Little Nas X, yeah. I think, and I told you, I'm gracefully getting older. But one thing that you can't buy is wisdom. You can't buy it. And I think you get to an age, when, like, with our parents sometimes, that when you were growing up and you used to look at them and think, "Real, like you've really just told it as it is. You've literally just you've clocked the situation and you just don't generally give a fuck. You've literally just said, this is nonsense. I'm not buying it. Like I'm gone." And I always used to look at my mum and think, "Real, like mum, like there's no tact to it." But I think you get to an age where you need to call bullshit as bullshit. And I
Yeah.
think that now, I listen, I don't stay up late. This is the latest I probably stayed up. I don't go on YouTube watching like guys smoking weed. I'm not one of these conspiracy theorists to a certain extent. But I don't know, unless you really don't have any brain cells left, that there's been a trend that is been going on, or people are talking about how, artists are used within hip hop to kind of take society into something else. And Little Nas, I didn't even want to give him any airtime on my radio show, but you see things like this, what he's doing. Oh, this is edgy. This is, you want to do stuff with the occult. You want to be, selling trainers that got, potential blood in it. And you got to call it out. There's only sometimes as a person you can say, "Oh, do you know what? It's none of business," or "This is what the people want." But no, this is why you have great people in life. When I ask you guys, okay, talk to me about the great figures, you'll be like, "Look, Muhammad Ali, I like him," or "I like Malcolm X," or "I like Marcus Garvey," or "I like Nkrumah, obviously Afghanian brothers." Or look, there's always someone that you're gonna like because they called out the bullshit when it was here. They could have just gone with what everyone else was saying and just be slick about it. But they actually thought, "No, I'm actually going to go against the grain and call it out." And in the long run, you respect those people more because you think, you know what? You actually stood for something. How is Little Nas operating? And for me, people are funding this sort of behavior. This is what they want to portray and put out there. And that's why I look at Kendrick and I look at J. Cole, but I look at Kendrick and I look at the first two albums and I think this guy's actually standing for something, Like, I don't know how you guys feel about it. It may because now I'm a father, I'm looking at it a bit deeper. I'm thinking, nah, we need to police certain things here because
Mm.
this is going somewhere where it's not right.
It's political now. That's what
Yeah.
it is. And when you cross over into the political spectrum, I just feel like it's a unless you understand how it works, it's just a difficult place to operate. Unless you're about it and the way you express yourself is next to next to none, you can be caught up in some really crazy things. Like even the stuff that we're saying on this now, yeah, about Little Nas. That community can very easily turn on us, like very easily turn on us to the point where it's like, because we've said we don't really feel, I'm saying it straight up, I don't give a toss, but that's my opinion. I'm allowed to have one. Like, don't make music then if you don't want people to be opinionated about it. I think his music's trash. But like, because of like the whole thing, like sometimes I don't think everybody looks at it as a whole. It can get a little bit snaky in there. Like it can be a bit of a sticky situation because you say one bad thing against some of these people, then all of a sudden you're Hitler because you're saying that he's trash. Do you know what I mean? But because he's part of a group, you're almost attacking the group. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you've got to be quite sensible with what you say about certain people. But this is one of them spaces that when we created the space, we wanted to just be as honest as possible. And Little Nas, in all honesty, is just one of them. I just like, I just go, like, big man, dip. Like I just like honestly, like seriously. And Jason Derulo, I will listen to Jason Derulo, don't get it twisted. Like, I don't want you to think it's just on the same level. Jason Derulo is actually a really good artist in my eyes. Right?
Oh
He
no,
does
yeah.
he does the job he's supposed to do. He does the
Be
job he's
fucking
supposed
annoying.
to do. He knows his space and he's very good in his space. Don't get it twisted. Right?
Mm.
But Lil Nas, it's like this, what are you okay, 20 years ago. This is how crazy. 20 years ago, yeah. And this is like when we're talking, like when
I'm listening, bro. Yeah, sir. Yeah.
like he wouldn't survive. You just have to think 20 years
20
into
years
the
ago, he
future,
had DMX at the top of his game.
he
Listen to
wouldn't have
DMX
survived.
content. You think he survived? Nah,
He
bro.
would not have
DMX was having
survived.
for
And I think, you know
breakfast.
what, Lil Nas, as an artist, I think he's also got his own space and he has the right at the same time. Don't get it twisted. But I'm just talking about me personally. I don't think he's for me. I don't think the message he's trying to promote is the best message either. And the kids, I mean, if you had a child that was listening to Lil Nas, I would probably just, you know what I mean? I would say you need to really have a look at that because I don't think he sets the right example, man.
No, he doesn't at all. But go on, Oni.
Yeah. I mean, in one sentence, I just have to say it's not for me. It's just not for me. Like, I think, it's controversial on purpose, and that's fine. And we've all seen rap artists and rap stars do like nothing. What he's doing is different. I don't think he's ever put himself as a role model. So I think if your kid's watching him and trying to make him a role model, that's the job of parents and elder people around our kids to say, look, this is not one person you should be looking up to. But then from a human standpoint, like this is a 22-year-old kid, and I think that always gets missed. You know what I mean? Like because they see like the whole controversy, the articles, the crap, the this, the that. Like as a 20-year-old, he's a 22-year-old kid, like just making a living doing something that he in them sort of situations I salute it, but then it's just not for me. And yeah, he's got his audience, he's managed his audience, and I just think, like that's all good for him. And I hope that as an artist, as somebody that believes in him being as authentic as he can be, hopefully he can look back in the next 10 years and say, okay, was that a right thing to you? But for the time being, he's a kid, and like a lot of kids have done a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? Well, kids are gonna be kids.
I don't think the internet helps. I don't think the internet helps because it's so easy these days, right? And I think we were obviously talking earlier about the music scene and status, and I think one of the reasons why we're in that position is because of technology, like.
Okay.
And I also feel like as good as technology is to bring, all of these artists to to the forefront, at the same time, it's bringing just pop-ups, just like a couple of people that just want to. I'm not sure if their love for music is as deep as they say. I will go as far as just to question it because, like, genuinely, like, we look at things from like, and I can say I'm saying we because I'm kind of gathering from the conversations we've had today. We look at music from a standpoint of like these people were artists. These people you couldn't wait for them to put out something because it was always that level. It was always that level, right? So you couldn't wait. It's like, oh man, what, Nas has got another album? Like when J. Cole's album dropped the other day, when I heard it was dropping, for a couple of days I was anxious because I was like, bruv, I can't wait to hear what this guy's got to say. And I'm not saying it's not the same with the youngsters in that, but because there's so many of them, we could even be looking at some really, like I said earlier, sometimes you listen back to a track and you think, you know what, this track's actually decent. But because there's so many tracks that have the same sound, same style, some of these good artists at the same time, they're at like a default because of that, because everybody's trying to sound like everybody. It's very hard to identify who is the real one amongst these people. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a.
But that's where the art form's lost, and that's what I've said for a long time. You could be all from the East Coast, all from New York, but you all sound very flipping different. That's what I personally have always missed about the art form. Everybody sounds the same now. Before, you could have 100 rappers. You could identify each and every single one of them
like a
because of their rapping style.
DMX.
You could, even as close as they tried to sound as each other,
Nas.
you knew who Jar was. You knew who DMX was.
But that's the thing that you said about when you were talking about like you preferred the fact that it just wasn't East Coast and then look at the styles that you had there, like, and you made a fair point, Kofi, because now I think this is where like I'm a little bit torn with music, is because I feel that I have to keep. I love music, but I have to keep interviewing different sort of personalities, because I feel that to stay, it's one of those games where to stay relevant and keep staying employed, you've got to change with the times, which is cool. But then I kind of think a lot of people are just selling themselves a bit cheaply. And what I mean by that, like, yeah, of course, the big South, obviously the West Coast, which was always there. Obviously, we had Miami and stuff. But when you look at New York, you literally again had a particular sound. Like I mean, Brooklyn, you've got, Jay-Z, you've got Foxy, completely different. You've got, Wu-Tang, you've got Notorious B.I.G., you've got Nas. If I put you in a room and said, okay, I've got like half of Wu-Tang here, I've got Nas, and I've got Notorious B.I.G., bro, like, you could be there all day. And you'll probably listen to one bar or one verse and say, okay, now this is the best. And then listen to this. It was completely different. Like, how in one city are you gonna have Wu-Tang, Choice B.I.G., Mob Deep, Nas,
I was just
MOP?
about to say that, man.
No, bro, in one city.
Yeah.
Like, and they've got their own subculture. You've got one, you got the big group that are doing their thing, Wu-Tang. They've got their own personality. They're dealing with Shaolin monks. And you think, okay, I don't even know where these guys are going. You know what I mean? They're part of the 5%ers. It's just like, this is on another level. But,
You know what?
and this, yeah, go on.
I feel like, and I agree with what you're saying, but we're also, like I said, I keep saying, we got to remember we're looking at it through our eyes.
Yeah,
A lot of these decisions are made on how we actually felt at the time, what was
that's
going on
true.
in our lives, and how the music connected to us. These kids, right? And like, I'm going out on a limb here. These kids could be looking at just what you just said just now, and they could be looking at a Gigs, a Sneak Bowl. They could be looking at a J Hus, a Dave. Like, they could be looking at all of these guys and thinking, "Rah, like, how can we have all of these guys in the
Yeah,
same
that's
city?"
true.
Do you understand what
That's
I'm trying to say?
true.
So, because they relate, you got to think that J Hus and that's what inner city, living in inner city London was about before. When we were
Yeah,
coming up, we were listening to that American rap living in London, right? So we were like, it's all of those experiences wrapped up with what their man was saying, and we kind of, we always looked to across the pond for, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because back then we didn't have much of a rap scene. But these youngsters, they're looking at it differently, and this is why, in a way, I feel like the UK rap scene. Don't kill me here. I think it's better than the American rap scene. Like, in terms of the amount of people that's out there that's talented in the UK rap scene.
In that sense, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's, we have
yeah.
to kind of take that into consideration. You look at um even down to like what's his face? Ah, he put out a flipping thingy the other day, album the other day. Oh man, Kof, you play him all the
English
time.
Heat.
Yeah.
Who put out an album the other day?
Nah, what's his name? Gets. Even down to someone
Oh
like
yeah.
Gets. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I see when we say there's not good music, there is, again, with some of the subcultures, like there is good
Mm,
music, and like, if we're looking at UK hip hop as like a genre, they kind of represent some good music that you could actually listen to. Like, listen, I think J Hus is probably the most talented rapper to come from the UK in a very, very long time. Like,
Yeah.
he's really good. He is
yeah,
really good. Like,
Disagree. He's
do you know
good,
what I mean?
but I
He's a really
disagree.
good rapper. And all of these kids are looking up to all of these other guys, as this is the time where, if they're listening to that kind of music, I know obviously we've got the drill music coming in now, and as far as I'm concerned, that's just a mess. But um, that's also because I can't relate to it at all. Like,
mm,
nothing these lot are saying makes sense to me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, we are all grown up, mortgages, children, whatever. Like, bruv, I couldn't tell you what street slang is. So when these men are spitting these bars, I don't know what they're saying because I don't no longer understand the language. I'm just being real. I no longer understand the language. And maybe if we did, maybe if we
Grown ass
understood,
man,
right,
dog.
there we go. But maybe if we did, maybe if we understood the language and we could actually, you remember you were saying about someone was playing the track and they were geeking out over the verses and that. Maybe if we understood the language itself, because you got to think we're so far from that now. We're grown
Fam,
ass
how you
people with
geeking out
responsibilities.
over telling man how you gonna queff man on road? Like, how you geeking out? Oh, I don't get it. Like, you're geeking out over queffing somebody on road.
But
Nah, bruv.
that was their experiences. They could probably, they just view it in a different way. We're like, that's lame. But
That's
at
a
the
pretty
same
graphic
time,
story, which a lot of people cannot relate
To,
to, but wanna embellish themselves and glorify it. Nah, bruv.
I
I
mean,
can't stand for it.
to be fair, no, I mean, I agree, but the names that you mentioned about, in the UK rap scene, as I said, just like with the J. Cole and the Kendrick, like the cream will always rise to the top. And I agree with you, like it was only these names that you mentioned, the Baby and the Little Nas, and these are the sort of guys I'm saying. I'm not saying the Baby is bad, but it's
The baby's
like.
wicked. I'm not gonna. Well, no, he's not wicked. His beats are wicked.
Yeah, I get that. Like that one,
we're in the
Still
age
the
of the
same
producers.
one, eh?
My
what you
point in
say?
case. Thank you. It's my point in case. But the beats are banging. Like Bop, the baby Bop. Nah, yeah, you can hit me with
No,
that every day.
it's the age of the producers. It's not the age of the artists when it comes to like the hip hop and stuff. Now it's the age of the even that little Nas beat.
Yeah.
What's it? Old Town Road. I'm not gonna lie. The beat. I'm listening to it. I'm like, it's not bad. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Like it's
Yeah,
him that annoys me really. But like, the
Yo,
beat
that
itself,
Montero track's
it's
in
all
my head
right.
all day. That's the only reason I asked, you know.
yeah. And the cream, yeah, the cream. Listen, the cream always rises to top. So yeah, no, you've got some really, really good talented, UK rappers. What I do like is they've got their own scene. They work with each other. They hardly, have to start begging for people from the States, and you've got to respect it. Like at the end of the day, um, you definitely,
But
yeah,
you got people from
you
the States
definitely,
wanting to work with these artists. Like
Mm-hmm.
when Summer Walker hopped on the track with Freddo, I thought that was massive. I'm not a
yeah,
Freddo fan, but Summer Walker with Freddo?
yeah,
Don't get twisted. The Americans still look at us
Yeah.
like a little, you know what I mean? They still give us that down the barrel look, but
yeah,
I mean,
just
we talked about this
understand.
with Essence, though. We know
Yeah.
why. The Americans are just more hungry than we are here.
Mm,
They don't care. By any means necessary
Yeah.
is their motto.
mm,
yeah. Something,
It
yeah,
is
it's
their
a
motto.
different. Economically, it's a bit different as well. Like you really like, you know. Now we're moving into economics, but yeah, like in America, like when you're poor, you're really poor. Like this is like this is really it.
Mm,
This
Yeah.
really needs to work. Right here, right now. Of course, I know poverty has gone up in the UK. Especially over these last 18 months. But you get knocked over and your legs broken, you will get seen by a doctor. You will go to A&E, and
mm.
you will use the NHS. There's some people
Yeah.
that thinking, you know what? I've been shot about 6 times. I might need an operation. I don't think I want to wake up, man, because the bill is coming. The
Yep.
medical bill is really coming, and you're on 6 to 7K now, and you're thinking, like, I can't, what is really going on? So a lot of
Facts.
people don't remember that, when these Americans, like, some of them really, it is get rich or die trying. It seriously really is. So that is interesting. I know I'm changing the point, but I just wanted to know because we've been talking about everything, but I just wanted to talk to you guys really about. I feel to a certain extent I may have lost a lot of faith in. I've passed these past 18 months, the British public to a certain extent. Now, let me land on here because I've heard nothing, and I'm talking about nothing but how the virus was handled, how the corruption within the government, how care homes, were not protected, how borders weren't closed, all I've heard so much in the last 18 months. And then, obviously we had our elections recently, and I just thought to myself, we've made so much not really London as a sense, but I'm talking about the rest of the country has made such a fuss about, you know, the voting system and how the government have worked on things and how it's been such a, you know, a shit show and stuff. But they're still voting my guy in. They're still kind of moving for the conservatives. And you guys thinking, oh, we talk about politics. It just said these last 18 months, I just realized that if you kind of like package something in a bullshit sort of way, you can get the message through. I don't know what you guys are thinking now politically after the last 18 months or after the last 12 months of this COVID pandemic and where we are and, you know, the people who are in power and the people who it seems countries still want to remain in power. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Deep, I know,
In the
but
words, in the words of the late great DMX, if you feed people dog shit long enough, they'll start asking for it with ketchup.
yeah.
That's what I think about it.
Yeah,
Personally,
yeah.
that's so
I think with politics is a tough one because it's like Brexit vote and election. I think we've all been bamboozled in it to thinking, oh yeah, that politicians are out for the greater good. They're gonna do right for you. They're gonna do right for their constituency. Trust them. Use your vote. You're gonna get things through, and what they're gonna get through is gonna directly affect your community. I think, especially in the last 18 months, when we're seeing the debacle with the conservatives and the school dinners debacle. We're seeing things with these all of these, and then with the contracts going to friends of friends, and especially during the pandemic. I mean, now we're getting to see the true colors of what politics really is in this country, and to be fair, in most areas around the world, to be honest.
Mm,
Like, and I think now it's gotten to not just people that are my age and older, but then there's also the younger generation that really doesn't care for politics because everyone is just sort of they don't know what's going on with politics. Like they're so disillusioned. Like, you know what I mean? Who, for instance, if we had now a general election, who are you really gonna put your money against? Labour Party with somebody who doesn't give a shit, or with the Conservatives who really doesn't give a shit about how you know, a general working class person from the UK is just such a gap and such a distance that I'm genuinely disillusioned. And now for me, I'm more just focused on looking at the grassroots things or things that we can do as in personal,
mm,
like you know what I mean, what we can do to change things and create things and build things for people in our into the council or the government to try and make things to change. Like it's, you know, we've already seen the lies and the deceit that's been going on with the government for the last couple of years. So it's best that we just do things for ourselves and try to change things for ourselves. And we can see it has been done. That Marcus Rashford has done. The beautiful things that we've seen with BLM and this, that, and the third, like with and see how the conversation has changed. So we can see that like personal and human agency can do a lot more than what this government can do. So I'd say we should continue doing that.
This is a rabbit hole that I just don't even want to get into, bro.
what's the time?
I know,
Shit, 20
I
past
know, I
midnight.
know. It's
Nah,
late, yeah, yeah.
I've got to be real with you, lot. Like, I can't do it because it's something that I personally like keep an eye on, and I agree
yeah.
with a lot of things that you said, Mister Bounce. But a lot of what you said there is legit, especially the part about people being disillusioned and the people in power being so far from the people they need to actually really be close to. But one thing you did say was about fixing things locally. I kind of want to add to that and just say when you say locally, what I mean by locally is fix what you can fix. Like
Mm.
wh- I look at the politics and the state of the world in general as we're looking so far up, you're just not gonna fucking get there. There's no chance. There is no chance. Like, there's no chance. The way to get there is to fix your household. Get your household, the people connected to your household, sorted, and then hopefully you can have a ripple effect because someone's gonna figure out that you figured something out, right? And then you can only talk to the people that are willing to listen to you. Unfortunately, we all have so many crazy ass views nowadays. I don't think people realize how fucked up politics is because everybody wants a piece of politics for themselves. You know, we've got group politics, we've got, you know, race politics, we've got like the populist politics. It's crazy. All you can do, fix your house, get your shit together, maybe, you know, your career, money, whatever you need to do, you figure that out. And if we all did that, then we can attack these scumbags. But we can't until we get our own shit sorted. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because most people, like you said, have their heads in the clouds. They don't know who's who. I'm not going to lie to you. If you ask me to go and vote tomorrow for the new Prime Minister, I'm looking at all of the people that could possibly be against Boris Johnson. Bruv, who do we put there? Like, seriously,
True.
who do we put there?
True.
And that's the question. It's just like, wait, we need to figure something out. Like, we all got to step back for a minute, be local, let them do what the hell they're doing, because they're doing it anyway. You've seen how they handle COVID. They're doing it anyway. Regardless of how you feel, they're going to do it anyway, right? So until you figure out, like, you get your shit in order, get a couple of people you know in order, and then we start really moving towards it. We've got so many problems locally that we can't even possibly begin to tackle these people, and because they're much more powerful than us, and I don't think we realize how powerful they are. And I just don't think we have the means to actually come together right now. BLM was a great thing, but unfortunately, I've got my, you know what I mean? I don't know how I feel about the whole BLM thing. And it is
You know
what it
what's
is,
so
man.
mad about the you know what's so mad about the BLM thing that you've said? Like, what's so disheartening is that, like, non-blacks actually just everything is about BLM. And it does make me laugh, and that just does get me a bit cross because everything now is about no, but you know, this new like, you know, Black lives have always matter. I kind of feel like it has been good to a certain extent, but it's also now kind of okay, just paintbrush them more with BLM. We don't all agree with the organization.
I don't.
We agree with the message about, yeah, like we need to highlight racism, but we don't really all agree with it. And notice now it's kind of like, oh yeah, this. So it has been good in terms of, you know, okay, no, we need to talk about these things, but it's also, I feel, kind of undone the work that other, you know, blacks have done before, because everything just gets looped in BLM now. Like, for example, you see what's going on in Palestine now. You know, you've got certain Asians, not even Asians, you've got different Muslims, you know what I mean, which are fantastic friends of mine, but I'm seeing this rhetoric on Twitter that, oh yeah, we were backing you with the BLM, so you got to back us
Back
with.
us.
I'm like, rare. So
Whoa.
every
Pause.
black person now is BLM. Do you feel me? Have you not seen these tweets? It's literally like, nah, you man need to actually start stepping up because we were back in BLM. And I'm like, so bro, it's very, very interesting. So I'm with you with the BLM marches were good to see, like, you know, people coming together. But now it just means that, yeah, all black people, that's it. It's BLM. That's all it's about. It's
All
all
being
about
put in
George
the right
We're
Floyd.
all
category.
pocketed.
Yeah.
You know what? If you
And
guys want to understand the Palestine thing a little bit deeper and how it kicked off, there's a documentary. It's kind of hidden by YouTube because they don't really want too many people to know. So you have to search. It's called "How Britain Started the Arab-Israeli Conflict." It's a free documentary, and it kind of explains. It's about 50 minutes. Kind of explains how tactics from the Europeans have now put that country directly in problems, and how Britain has kind of gone, we just want everybody to get along. Like,
Nah.
Everyone just needs to get along. But the reason why the Jews are there in the first place is because there was a British Prime Minister, in a short story, long and short of it, British Prime Minister that wanted to win the war, World War One, and he promoted this like a free Zionist type state, like a Jewish state, and that's how Israel was kind of born. But the people that were there that owned the land, i.e. the Palestinians, like, you just gave away their country. But at the time, they didn't know the far-reaching effects of it. They were just trying to win the war. And now we have this situation. So, yeah, it's a bit messed up.
Yeah.
It's a bit messed up.
It's all mad.
It's all
Yo, fellas, man, like, I'm getting old and I realize time is a little bit late, you know what I mean? So
yeah, trust me.
To be fair, like,
go make your Horlicks, bro. Go make your Horlicks.
These two,
I promise you, I'm gonna speak to Nobere like later on in the day, and I'm gonna see how grouchy this guy is. Didn't get his 9 hours beauty sleep. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's been a great conversation, man, and we definitely want to come on again.
Bro,
so we can speak more fashion
it's been good, man.
Prep and all that
Good
sort
to
of
finally
thing, you
meet
know
you,
what
DJ Dando, man. Obviously,
Love
man.
that.
Yeah,
So we got to
100%,
get your
man.
house
Yeah, I
thing,
mean,
man. I've had
absolutely.
enough. Nah, you're coming.
Yeah, listen, I'm about, man. I'm about. I mean, I need a motive. I've been locked up for 9 months. Jesus. Like, you know what I mean? I need to get out there.
Yeah, for real.
Reintroduce myself to the world of London.
100.
You know what I mean? But listen, guys, thank you very much for coming on.
Indeed.
Really, really good conversation.
It's been live.
Yeah, man, I appreciate having us, man, honestly.
Absolute pleasure.
So
really
long. I know
talk
it's
music,
late and
no?
that. We're all old. So,
No, but like I said, let's do this
yourself.
again, man. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that like there was a lot of subjects that we wanted to cross off, man. Didn't get to touch fashion too tough as well. So you know, I definitely want to speak on that. So yeah, man.
Just quickly before you go, just plug your channel.
Yeah, so that is called That Was Vibe. Make sure that you check that out on YouTube. As we go back and reminisce on the old school music videos. Me and Bounce is exactly as we are here. You know what I mean? Never agreed.
Exactly.
So make sure you check it out. Also, I am on radio. I'm on the Beat London 103.6 FM every Tuesday, live 7 to 9 on the B Word. So amazing talk show. Make sure you tune in there. We've got guests, we've got musicians, actors, artists, and we always, very, very deep talk show. So that is on the Beat 103.6 FM.
Yeah. And yes, and myself, I am on Soho Radio. I've got a bi-weekly show there and that is that's online, and yeah, we promote some of the R&B and hip hop also from the States. So make sure you go ahead and check it out. So all our past shows have been on Mixcloud Select, so make sure you go ahead and check that one out as well. And yeah, if you're ever in town in Central London, make sure you go ahead and pass through, because we are live on Soho Radio. Do you know what I mean? So make sure you come through. Yeah.
Sick.
Big. All right, guys. Thank you. Until next week. Sorry we kept you so long. Nobere, I told you these conversations just literally just.
You know the
ebb
thing
and
is, I
flow.
looked at it and I said an hour, and I look at it, it's 3 hours 22 minutes. I was supposed to play
Plus is at 4 hours. We said,
didn't
innit?
eat sweets. Jeez. I would even talk about trainers. That's the worst thing.
Exactly.
That's
We briefly touched on it. But we'll get you guys on again. No worries, man. It's been live.
Yeah, man. Look forward to it.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I
guys,
look forward to it.
I love, bros.
Peace. Till next week.
Take
All
care,
right,
man.
guys. Take
Yeah,
care.
Peace, guys.
Take care. Take care, man.
Peace.
There's levels to the shit.